Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we got a great episode today. The topic question is, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Should America be careful of white women in 2025? The way how I got this question, I was watching the Karen Reed case, and it made me, brought me back to a girl named Amber Geiger, a woman who went into the wrong person's house and shot an innocent bystander and only got 10 years. Are white women the most dangerous people in America right now? Is it not a racist thing? Is it a gender thing? We will be talking. Hold on. I'm gonna have to fix my glasses. We will be talking about the most dangerous women in America or in the world, and see if it is just white women. You know, I always say it is. There's very few white women I would date, but I personally would stay away from them, especially if you're a person of color. You know, in this era, they dehumanize you. They make you look like the villain. They make you look less than human. I'm not saying that there isn't any great white women out here. In my eyes, there's only a few. Growing up, everybody always thought I would go out with white women. And I'm not just asking black men, should we stay away from white women? I'm asking all men, even white men. Even white men who like the flavor of chocolate. Or the black man that goes to a snow bunny time and time. Or a snow bunny king. Do y'all know what a snow bunny king is? A motherfucker that breathe can't. He sweats out snow bunnies. It's all he knows, all he likes. That Terry Crew guy off of White Chicks. That's snow bunny. Once you go black, you end up in the wheelchair. That type of snow bunny type of guy. So there's different type of people that like white women. Or let's talk to even the people who like Spanish women, Asian women, Arab women. Is white women the most dangerous women out of all of them? We don't know, man. There's gonna be three cases that we will be looking up. We will be looking at Karen Reed, Amber Geiger, and the OnlyFans girl Courtney Clinley. Clinley. She stabbed her. She stabbed her boyfriend to death. And I'm gonna say this: two of them weren't black. One guy I think was Haitian, and the other guy is African. I think Nigerian. So this is the type of shit that goes on. And I always tell people all the time, I never really been a person that likes white women like that. Maybe from time to time, like if I was single, I'll get that itch. You know, let me go violate a white woman's pussy or something like that. Let me go open it out, stretch it out. But on a daily basis, nah, I don't think I can do that on a daily basis. You know, and I always say this, the type of white women that you would want to go out is the the thick ones, the BBW type of ones with the fat asses. You don't want to go out with the little skinny ones, no ass. What's going on, YouTubian? Salam, salam. We got a crazy question. We're talking about your state today. You know, shout out to Texas. You ever heard of Amy Geiger? So we're gonna be talking about Amy Geiger today, the former police officer who ran in somebody's house and shot a innocent bystander that was black. His name was Betham Jean. So we will be talking about that one of those today. We'll be going up to the East Coast talking about Karen Reed. Man, I miss your stream. I've been working. That's good, man. Yo, you're working. That means a good thing, man. That means you're making money, man. That's what's up, man. I had to kill the project I had been working on. How's the project? Did it come out good? I hope the project's gonna come out good. Oh yeah, I do got an announcement too. I remember she got off, right? Nah, she got 10 years, but she killed somebody. So so we'll be talking about her today. We will be talking about Karen Reed from Massachusetts, where I'm from. And also we'll be talking about Courtney Clinton. She was an OnlyFans that stabbed her boyfriend to death. Yeah, I do Oh, okay, okay. Design and development. All right, definitely. I'll keep that in mind. So yeah, man. I hope that everything is well with you. You know how we usually do for the first 45 to an hour. We usually just chat. See how everybody's doing. Um, it was for wait. These niggas be pick. Yeah, they are. That's one thing about that type of job. I went to school for web development and entrepreneurship, so I know, man. They don't like this. They want to change that color. The font. They don't like the font style, and I personally gave up on it. And in my era, definitely too, everything has changed because you can make your own websites and you could do your own marketing. So it's different now. That's why I just got into just media. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, you did tell me that, but thank you again. Oh yeah. Definitely. I think I want to get that the FBA flag, but I think when the channel gets a little bit bigger and I move into something bigger, definitely I'm gonna get the FBA flag and I'm gonna put it side to the other side, so it could get its what you call it. It could get their its own like design. You see, when I do it, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, definitely. And plus, my uncle's helping me with a few other things. He just got out of jail. I usually tell y'all, he's helping me with the stocks and bonds and stuff. He's really good at it. So I know he'll stay out of jail this time, man, because he's real good at stocks and bonds. And plus, he's an introvert. So salute to my uncle. I'm glad he's out, bro. You're not lying about. Yeah, like if you mess with a snow bunny, is you get the thick ones, man. You don't get the little skinny ones and shit like that. And plus, I be seeing motherfuckers with them skinny old white girls, man. I be like, yo, man, you got a thing for like young girls or something? Like the little skinny ones? Yeah, I be really thinking that in my head. Be like, yeah, I live in suburban Dallas and Mexican women be with the. Yeah, of course. And I always tell people all the time, this is the best time Mexicans should be trying to fuck with the black men because at the end of the day, if they're undocumented, yo man, they better do some strange things, man. Some fly shit, man. Get that ring, man, so you don't have to move out. Yeah, man. Like what's his name? Look at Travis Hunter. That man got sold the fuck up, man. That girl was probably sucking his balls and everything, man. I was just talking about that 2 episodes ago, or I think last episodes. Yeah, that girl probably did something to him. Oh yeah. She didn't want him around nobody. She had her eyes on her prize, sucking his balls, taking his wee wee, probably hit her in the face with it. Yo, she was probably doing crazy things. Oh yeah, and he looked like he never got that shit done before, man. Cause she didn't even have to kiss him at the wedding. You know. I'm drinking coffee if y'all wondering. Yeah, so it's those are those type of things where you just look at it like, damn, yeah, she probably got the little thing, the joint that tighten up the coochie and everything. Yeah, there's things out here. Oh yeah, right. She did lots. Yeah. Oh yeah, she put it on him, man. And she's not really even a bad chick like that. She's alright, you know. But I always tell people all the time, you better off getting an alright chick than like a super bad chick. You know? Yeah. But he could have got a super bad Mexican. Yeah, he could have got a super bad Mexican. There's some super bad Mexicans out there. You probably know because you're in Texas. Oh yeah, he could have got him a Dominican. Yo, he could have got him something super exotic. You know, but if I was him, I'll get me something dark and chocolate. Because you got to look at it. He got money. She's not gonna be able to handle that type of limelight. He's always gonna have to cater to her. At least with black women, they could hold themselves down. Why you think I always tell people, oh, no, she's from 30 minutes outside of it got a lot of Mexicans coming in last 15. Yeah. It's cause them borders was open. All they had to do was hide until Biden got in there. Once Biden was in there, yo, you're good. Probably have a job on the side. Be friendly with the cops, trying to blend in. Yeah, you're good. Stay out of trouble. Yo, you should be straight. So yeah, it's just so much stuff that they could do. It's just now, this is the worst time to be like an immigrant. I'm gonna be personally honest. Undocumented immigrant. By the way, she's the first exotic light skinned chick he ever got with. Yeah, that's probably it, man. He could have got him yo. That's crazy, man. Hey, yo, but it be like that sometimes too, man. He probably, let me tell you what he probably did. He probably rushed through that too. Yeah, he got him a super bad chick too. Sador, yeah. But the only thing about that is like I was saying with the super bad chick, you got to keep up their lifestyle. Because you got to look at it. They could always go to a fucking drug dealer and get that type of lifestyle. Or get half the lifestyle. You know? She wouldn't want like an everyday working type of guy. A guy who's making like $80,000, $90,000. You know? Oh, yeah. His father's Dion. Gotta be the money. Yeah. What's that song he had when he went to, I think, Dallas? Was it when he went to Dallas? Gotta be the money. He had the hair, he had the glasses up in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard about Zion. Zion, he's all fucked up right now. Like, and who her attorney is, right? The most crooked attorney in the game right now, Tony Bugsby. This motherfucker fucks up his career before he even has a career. That's the crazy part. Yeah, it must be the money. Yo, my man's crazy. Dion. I was telling people all the time, Deion Sanders must be the greatest. I always tell people all the time, Deion Sanders is the greatest, probably football player of all times. It's him, LT, then Tom Brady. The reason why I say Tom Brady had a system. Tom Brady had probably the greatest system of all times. That Patriot system is crazy. I'm just sad about Randy Moss not winning a championship. I was pissed off about that. He deserved a championship. You know? But sometimes everything ain't as cracked up as it's supposed to be. You know, but they had that system. You know, but I think Deion Sanders is the greatest football player of all times. Then LT, because you got to look at it. First of all, both of them changed the game. And the reason why I say change the game, because nobody would never throw near Deion's way, because Deion will always read the quarterback and get that interception. First 3 wins was defense carrying. Yeah, of course. It's that system. I told you, that system's serious. We can't even say he cheated. He still had the system. The system, don't forget, he went 19-1. You know, that's how crazy it is. And I think it was 2 flukes, man. That clock was right those 2 times against the Giants, because the Giants really didn't have no team like that. They had a few wide receivers, but their defense wasn't all of that. I did some research. The porn side, he was fucking. Yeah, she loves some white men. Oh yeah, she loves some white men. Yeah, her. Man, so I tell y'all all the time, I do reaction videos to adult entertainments. I couldn't find her with anything. Yo, the ones I was trying to put out for other people and stuff like that, they didn't like it. I was like, oh, yo, y'all want to see this? Y'all want to see that? You want me to react to this? They was like, nah, we don't even want her like that. Her body's like kind of crazy. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, her body's kind of crazy. Yeah, I expected, she's broke. That girl's broke. Like, what's her name? Tiana Trump. The reason why Tiana Trump was doing like crazy shit back in the days, because she was broke. Nobody wouldn't rent to her. You know? That's why she had to fuck with like ballers and shit like that. She couldn't just fuck with regular people and do like parties. And like, she was low key doing escorts. Like, she told on Bill Maher. Was it Bill Maher? The little pervert dude who used to fuck with Superhead? That dude. He got mad sexual harassment lawsuits. He got kicked out of Boston. You know, so it's... He be on some shit and stuff. He be on that I'm white and I say so shit. Him, yeah. That's why he talked the way he talks. You know, but it is what it is. You know, yeah, Tiana Trump, yeah. Oh, yeah. You be surprised, man. It's she gets down. Oh, man, a lot of practice. Don't forget, she was saying when she was like 16, she already had like what? 40 bodies, 30 bodies or some shit like that. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? She was like, yeah, I was fucking the whole fucking football team and stuff like that. You know, but she's from Indiana. Cause yo, it's crazy because like yo, as a podcaster, you're supposed to have a lot of contact with like certain people. Like I'm in the adult entertainment. I don't show no dick or anything, but it's just when you talk to these people. Hold on one second. What's going on, Kwame? Oh yeah, Kwame. Salute. The only American are the white people. I'm confused by the king, by the title king. Let me see what the title is. Should American be careful with white women? What do you mean? How are you confused about the title? Should you be careful with white women in America? That's what it means, Kwame. Should you be careful? Come on, man. Are you playing with me right now? It's a legend, a myth. Kwame. But yeah, you know, we talking right now, Kwame. I don't know if you're getting your research ready or anything, but we just talking right now. Yeah, Tiana. Yeah, she's a different chick, man. I spoke to her a few times. It's um, and it's just because I had an idea for another podcast. I was gonna do a collab with certain adult entertainers, and we were gonna do a reaction video from like the collab joint on on reactions to adult entertainments, you know, and it'll bring in more viewers. So that was gonna be super dope. That's what I was gonna do. Um, Cause I don't know why, but they like the reaction. Yeah, I had a person on my reaction talking. Let me see what Kwame said. Give me 1 second. Yeah, some are, man. Some come from a broken household. Kwame. You know, I seen have people ever had said. I got that one time. Okay, the three names I always get. I get J Bugs, I get Most Def, and I get Tyson Beckford. Kwame's from New York. He always say, "Yeah, I look like a Boston Tyson Bedford." So, and I always tell Kwame, you know he's Jamaican, right? Because Kwame's Jamaican. Yeah, I get Most Def sometimes. Uh, yeah, I get a few. I get Most Def, J Bugs, and I get people who say J Bugs who's in their 30s, their mid 30s. So I was like, yeah, I kind of see it. I got the hair now, but when I cut this off, I'm gonna get a haircut this week, and y'all see. Um, you're gonna see I look totally different, you know. But yeah, I get Most Def sometimes. What's his name? New name now? Bay or something? Yeah, Kwame's Jamaican, Pan African. Yeah, Kwame's Pan African too. Why you think yo? Why you think he be going harder in the paint on me? Oh man, you should see his boy Shabaka. Shabaka. I thought Shabaka was from Queens. He's from Harlem. So yeah. He said he's African because damn, what the fuck he said? He told me shit yesterday. It was a Fort Lauderdale filled with Jamaicans and Haitians. Yup, and Cubans. Yeah. Yeah, they I think they kind of run Florida a little bit, you know, so they got their own spot, Little Havana and Little Haiti. So, you know, yeah, they do things. Like if I go to Haiti, I'm going for the food. I mean, not Haiti. Florida, I go for the food. You know, you got to go to Little Haiti to get the original, the official tissue joint. But you know, it's at least you get the organic shit. You know, Jamaicans, they got good Jamaican food here and there. You know, I've been once and damn, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's why I always tell people, yo, just stay at South Beach, man. Don't go to Daytona. What they call it, Daytona County. Yeah, don't go there. It's not worth it. That's just a whole new country. If you like, you know, Haitian coochie and all that other cool shit, yeah, go. But um, oh yeah, I heard it's top tier. I heard it was top tier. Um, I had it a few times and I loved it. It's just my ex girlfriend's family used to make that. It's just, I haven't talked to that girl in like 15 years, 15, 16 years. Um, yeah, that mac and cheese on point. Oh yeah. So you taste that, man. Yeah, that's why, yo, I be telling yo YouTube, I be telling Kwame all the time. Is like, yo, Black Americans don't hate on Caribbean people. It's just, you know what, we letting them hold their own nuts. It's not that we don't love them. Yeah, they do. Most of them do. You know, but once you get the ones who are black, they fuck with black people heavy because they know how those the white Cubans treat like black Cubans in Cuba. What's that dude named Alonzo something? He's Cuban, but he considered himself black. He been doing that shit for like 20 years. And he understands why, we separate and shit like that, but he supports us. Alonzo Son, he's an actor. He always say he's black, but they were like, "Oh yeah, he's Cuban." There's a few other people like that. Hold on a second. Did I drop my water? Yeah, there's a few other people like that. I didn't know. Let me tell you who I didn't know was Cuban. Faison Love. Faison Love was born in Cuba. I always thought he was like a black dude from California. Nah, he's from Cuba, but he been in California forever. So yeah, no, I'm good. I have to disagree with the Cubans or like a time. Yeah, yeah, him. Yeah, he considered himself black. He always supported black people. I understand because he was like I was saying, his people don't accept him. And that's why I think a few months ago I had this topic question: should Afro Latinos and Afro Latinas delineate from regular Latinas and Latinos? Because we were talking about delineation with Black Americans, with other, the other diaspora, and the reason why I asked that is because look how the Latinos and the Latinas treat the Afro Latinas in their country. Like they segregate them from other countries. That's why when certain of them come over here, their grandparents and their mothers and fathers be like, "Oh yeah, fuck with white men or fuck with the light skinned people," you know, because it's a self hate thing. But these new generation, like the what's the name, Amara La Negra, she don't like fucking with people if they're not black because at the end of the day, she knows how they treat them. But I feel like this, some I think they shouldn't get a pass right now because at the end of the day, they don't police their own people. I think that's the biggest problem that what Black Americans have with everybody is that they don't police their own people. But when we do something, they put this whole stigma on the whole group of black people. It has always been like that, and I think all races, all nationalities do that to Black Americans. We're the most hated people in the world, Black Americans. But we help out everybody. We change the surface of everything for everybody. And I work in warehouse during 2023 and encounter a lot of Cubans and Guatemalans, and they only have problems with black men when they trying to holler at them. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that big time. And the reason why is it's a weird reason too. It has to be a fair thing, a fair. You know. Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds, everyone. I'm sorry. Mm, Cause white people have that same fear too. They think that their lineage is gonna get diluted. You know. Yeah, it's true. They got a fear of diluting their generations, their lineage and stuff. And they don't understand. Only people who knows that like, yo, we need black American genetics is Japanese people. Why you think they tell black Americans to go to Japan and get their women pregnant? First of all, they're going through a population problem. Second of all, they know black Americans are going to strengthen their DNA and their lineage. So but the thing about it, Africans fuck it up for black Americans in Japan and South Korea. That's why South Korea has a big problem with black Americans because of Africans. They go over there cosplaying us. Yeah. Japan yeah. Japanese want black men to go over there and populate their population. I mean, reproduce in their population. I mean, their population, because their population is dying out. Yeah. They're not having babies. Like, our genetics aren't as strong as their genetics isn't as strong as ours. If you notice, black Americans have the greatest genetics, even better than Africans. Athletic wise, creating wise, you got to look at it. If you put a black American under the same program as a Japanese person's program, like, we'll be 3 times stronger. The way how they train, like those people, and this is what I found out. My children's mother told me, like, Asian people, like, when you see all this K-pop shit and stuff like that, these people hasn't been working. These people haven't been working together forever. These people are put together. They are made stars. They aren't like, oh, yo, these people can actually really sing. No, these people have to go through like some shit like the American Idol, and then they put together. Cause yeah, it's true. It's true. We gotta look at our genetics. But that's why we have a bad relationship with certain countries in Asia. You know, because you also too look at Asia. Asia went through that. There was an atomic bomb shit, and their country was all fucked up. What they did, they sent people to America to collect information. Then after that, taught their people in their country. Africans didn't do that. They learned that shit in their country. I mean, they learned that shit coming to America. But when they got back into their country, they kept the information. They didn't pass the information around like that so the country could get stronger. Like, that's why I always say it's a tribalistic thing. It has always been a tribalistic thing with Africa. Africa could have been this big, strong country, but at the end of the day, everybody's for self. That's why I was telling Shabaka yesterday. I forgot to ask your name. Oh, Aroshalin? Yeah, my name is Aroshalin. Aroshalin, yeah, that's why. What's his name? I think when you told me to go on Tariq Nasheed, he called me something else. He said a rolling, something like that. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, DJ X1? Salute. Yeah, salute, fam. Peace. But yeah, YouTubian. That's what, yo. When you told me go on, I went on. What's up, player? And Chaz. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Draymond Green jersey. I always know who I'm gonna get. I want to get a Wilt Chamberlain jersey. A Wilt Chamberlain, yeah. I do want a Wilt Chamberlain jersey. I want a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jersey. Yeah, I remember you told me to go on Tariq Nasheed that same day. I went on and I asked him. Then after that, I became a Boston activist. Was it the next day after? So when you told me that, yeah, I actually did. Yeah, he called me the wrong name. I'm like, oh shit. No, because I asked him about Ayanna Presley. I asked him, did he feel like Ayanna Presley hijacked the H1 the reparation? The H was a man. You should get. I'm thinking about the OKC one. That one sounds like yeah, I should get one. Oh yeah, I think he's like Canadian, Jamaican Canadian or something like that. Yeah, I think his father's like Canadian. I mean Jamaican. Get you a bird, yeah. Larry Bird. I got me a Bill Russell one because I think Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player of all times because he won 11 out of 13 championships. But I wouldn't mind getting a Larry Bird jersey. But I do want to get a Jaylen Brown one. I'll get a Jaylen Brown first. Then I'll get a Larry Bird. Legend was a Larry Legend. I call him Larry Legend. Yeah, I'll get a Larry Legend after. But that Larry Bird, I know it's gonna cost a little something. Cause they consider him the greatest Celtic player. Um and I always tell people all the time he would have retired a little bit earlier, but Reggie Lewis died. I order first say I haven't got it yet. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. You probably might not get it until probably late June, maybe early July. Yeah, people gonna be rocking that Browns jersey. Yeah, Secor, and they're gonna be rocking that Tampa. Oh yeah, his other son's on Tampa, so yeah. Oh yeah. Do you got the all white one or you got the all green one? You know, I want to get the all. If I get the Larry Bird one, I would probably get the all white one. And the reason why, because I see a lot of people with the all green one. Yeah, he's in Tampa. You know, I think they're trying to blackball both of them out of the league already, but yeah, that type of bullshit it comes with the territory, man. Yo, he got 28. Oh, he did? Oh, that's an interesting number, 28. Well, who had 28? Fred Taylor had 28. Fred Taylor was one of my favorite running backs. Just bias, he wasn't the greatest running back. My favorite running back of all time is probably Sean Alexander. He used to play for Seattle Seahawks. I think he had 28 too. That's my number 28. I play Oh shit! Salute, Rando. Damn. Oh shit, Rando. Did I say salute to you? Oh yeah. I did say salute to you. Yeah, man. When I played basketball, my three numbers I always wore was 5, 6, or 41. Um, Other than Bill Russell, Dirk Nowitzki is my favorite basketball player. Yeah. Even I know Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all times. Dirk Nowitzki is number two. We could do others like Karl Malone, maybe even Charles Barkley, but Dirk Nowitzki is my favorite. He changed the game. Yeah, bro. You think? Nah, they were trying to get they were trying to make they're trying to they were trying to prove something when they did that to Sador. Cause Sador he should have went round one. Probably he should have been less than 10, less than 8 or 7. He should have been like 5 or 6, if not number one. Oh, jokes aside, and I think that was kind of fucked up. Even the Patriots should have tried to got him. You know, because Patriots. I think they're gonna need another quarterback. That dude is good that they have. Was it Mayo or some shit like that? Um, but they don't even know if he's gonna stay healthy. They still got Jacoby. Was it Brissett? But I think they're gonna trade him. I think they're gonna trade him because they already know that they're not gonna win a championship with him. He's good. He's a great backup. I think he's a great backup. If like somebody gets hurt for a few games, you know, he could throw, but he could run too. He could scramble. Um, that would be. I think that would be the smartest thing, But the Patriots know what they're doing, I guess. Because don't forget, this is their third quarterback in 3 years. Yeah. Boston is a systematic racist place. Even back in the days, it always has been racist. Um, Whitey Bulger was a racist. The cops was a racist. Yo, I tell y'all that story all the time. Like, yo, At one time, Boston was about to turn. Yo, we was about to separate from everybody in Massachusetts and call this shit Mandela Land or Mandela Town in the '80s. That's how racist it was. But they knew Boston makes a lot of money, so they did some weird shit. It was weird. Oh, look at the history of what they did to Bill Russell, and Bill Russell won them 11 championships. Oh, they did Bill Russell dirty. Yeah, they talk shit about Bill Russell. They used to leave human shit on his porch and stuff. Yeah, I heard one time they kidnapped his daughter. Yeah. Oh yeah, Boston. Yeah, Boston. Don't let Andy Reid get hold of Shador. Yeah, I think if Andy Reid goes to another oh, salute Del Monte Green. Don't yeah, I think if he ever goes to another team, Andy Reid does, yeah, he's gonna make a star out of him. I personally didn't see Patrick Mahomes becoming great as he is now. Even though I think last season that was kind of like a fluke season. I seen Patrick Mahomes lucking up a lot of games. They should have lost more games than they won. I mean, more games than they lost. They won a lot of games, but there was a lot of games that they should have lost. I can't say that. Um, Outside looking in, Boston feels low. It is a liberal place. It is very liberal in Boston, but it's also racist. It's low key racist. It has always been racist. Look at Boston Red Sox. Why you think also to answer this question? Why you think everybody hates going to Boston? Every athlete hates going to Boston. Oh yeah. I didn't know he was that good though. I was like, yeah, I was pissed off when they got rid of Steve Smith. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Oh man, that hurt my heart when they did that shit. Cause Steve Smith was nice. He was nasty. I didn't know Patrick Mahomes was like that though. Patrick Mahomes was the truth. All jokes aside, he was the truth. You know, yeah, he's nasty. You know, yeah, he's gonna struggle next year. I could see it, but I think he should still do good. I think he'll still do good. I didn't know they're gonna get the ass whipping of the century like that. In the Super Bowl, that shit was crazy. That shit was like super crazy. I thought it was gonna be a closer game, but I knew Philly was gonna win because they had something to prove and they got more pieces. So I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. You know. But KC got exposed. That's all I can say about that. KC got exposed big time. But yeah, Boston is a whole different shit. It's super liberal. Like they care about dogs and cats and animals more than they care about black people in Boston. Left tackle was looking for motherfuckers. Facts. Yeah, man, but I think they'll be ready though. Casey will be ready. I think they'll win less games than they won last season. Mm. Yeah, he's already a Hall of Famer. Him and what's homie who goes out was Taylor Swift. Those two are already Hall of Famers. Who's that running back? They can't let Casey win. They was already accused of can't help. Yeah, them refs was missing a lot of shit. That's the crazy thing. Them refs was missing a lot of things that would happen in the season. That's why I said they should have lost more games than they won. Yeah, Travis Kelsey. He's a Hall of Famer already. Do I think he's the greatest tight end of all times? No. Like I said, it's the system that you are in. I think they got better when they were under Andy Reid. But when you take Andy Reid out the equation, I think it's gonna be a little bit harder. Cause don't forget, Andy Reid been doing this shit forever. You know, I wish he would have won Philly a championship, but because they had T.O., man. You got. I always tell people all the time when you got Terrell Owens, man, you should always. They should look at Terrell Owens as like, yo, yeah, at least is going to the your conference finals. That's how nasty T.O. was. There's only because you gotta look at there's only a few people like that. T.O., Randy Moss, and maybe even Jerry Rice we can throw in. You know, it's yeah. You get those type of wide receiver, it's a wrap. You know, yeah, it's hard, but yeah, New England ain't gonna win a championship for another like 10 years. I don't think New England Patriots are gonna win for another 10 years. Yeah, I could see that. You know, low key respects white people above everyone else. Yeah, I could kind of see that. You see how he changed up his look, man. There's a lot of people like that, man. You just gotta be careful with people like that. I'll say this. I'm looking forward to Jimmy Horn to shine. Yeah, I want to see how he's gonna do this year. You know. Oh, you know who I want to see this year shine? The dude from Washington Commanders, the quarterback. That shit came out of left field on me with the quarterback from who's the quarterback from Washington Commanders that went to the was it Washington Commanders or was it Houston Texans? That low key just made it. You'd be like, yo, where the fuck did they come from? Where the fuck did he come from? You know, that shit was crazy. I think he might be the future, man. Cause yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think it is Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I think you're right. Um, yeah, he came out of left field, man. I didn't see that shit coming. Like he wasn't even on the radar like that. That's how crazy it was. Like nobody's seen him. Like really, everybody say, "Oh yeah, he's good. He's decent. You know, he might go. You know, might win the wild card. You know, he might go to the wild card." My fault, Mister. No, no, you're good, Randall. You good, Randall. He's good. Yeah, he might. You know, we got to see how hungry he is. They already have a year of film. Yeah, we got to see how hungry he is, man. If he's hungry enough, man, because he came close, man. That's why I say, yo, I didn't see that shit coming. He had one of those years like fucking what's my man's name from Lamar Jackson. He wasn't running like Lamar Jackson, but he's a struggle, Lamar. Yeah, but we didn't see. Yo, that's crazy. Like, let me tell you something. A struggle. Lamar Jackson is better than probably like 75% of like quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, so I hope Houston Texans don't fuck it up and trade him because that's what most. I don't know why people do that. They did that to their wide receiver, and he just that man was like a devil without a cause, man. He had one of the best rookie. Yeah, absolutely. You know. Oh yeah. Everybody, give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Yeah, so I'm back. Yeah, I hope they don't trade him. Yeah, they got to build right. They got decent pieces right now, Commanders, but they're gonna have to still rebuild. It might take them like 2, 3 years, maybe 2, 3, yeah, 2, 3 years just to be on the radar. But they're starting off good. Tank Dills, yeah, I think that's the dude, yeah. You know, um, I think this year is gonna be a very interesting NFL year. You know, I still want to see what I want to see how Cleveland is gonna do because I don't know if they got rid of Deshaun Watson. I think they should trade him because I think Cleveland did him dirty. I'm gonna be personally honest. Um, I think they got personal with him because they did the same bullshit to Michael Vick in Atlanta. Oh yeah. I hope he has a good year in New England. I hope he's good in England. Cause if he's not, oh yeah, they're gonna get him the fuck out of there. Oh yeah, that shit is crazy. He's just asking for trouble, man. I'm just being personally honest. It's not even because of her baby father. It's just because of the person she is. She's just out there like that, you know. Oh yeah. If he doesn't do good in New England, they're gonna get him the fuck out of here, man. Like they did the Ocho Cincos. Ocho Cinco's played for the Patriots, and they didn't even need him. That's why he went to Miami and headbutted Evelyn. Then killed his whole career. You know. But he should have knew what type of chick Evelyn is. Evelyn's from the Bronx. Those girls come out of pocket. Bitches from the Bronx. Oh yeah. He's a nice looking dude. No day. Yeah. He is. It's just it comes with the territory, man. Those type of chicks come with the territory, you know. And what is her name? The chick is probably gang related. I mean, chick is gang related too. He's using his pretty privilege. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yo, there was already shit about him on. Yo, they went on a yacht. This motherfucker was already talking to other girls on a yacht. Wow, what's her name's right there? That's why she looks crazy. Yo, Cardi B looks crazy. But she used to looking crazy. Don't forget, she was off Love and Hip Hop. So Deshaun's contract is keeping him. Yeah, he's gonna get a pretty penny, man. But it's just it's gonna be a tough time for him. Deshaun's contract. Yeah, it's gonna keep him in Cleveland. Yeah, like oh yeah. Yeah, she's she's a level 100 rat. Yeah, and the thing about I like ratchet chicks, but it's just they get you in trouble, man. I'm gonna be personally honest. I'll be the first one to tell you. Every situation I got into with women, man, they were ratchet. But that's the type of chicks you like when nigga, my family's from the projects. So just having a good girl, you just like you okay with a girl arguing with you and stuff like that. Cause you could be like, yo, I'm out of here, man. You talk to yourself. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't let her be Spanish. She'll try to cut you. Then after that, feed you and sew up your cut wound and shit. Yeah, Spanish girls is crazy. They'll cut you. They'll stab you. Then after that, sew you up, make you some Spanish food and everything. Yeah. Oh yeah. You get those type of girls. Yeah. What's her name? Um, Jen from the block. She always say that. Yeah, those girls will cut you. She's the one who will fuck you crazy and still call you. Yeah, he ain't even supposed to be here. He ain't even supposed to be here. He's on parole. Yeah, those girls is nuts, man. You'd be surprised. I've been with enough crazy girls on. Yo, I remember I almost tased a stripper, man. I used to carry around tasers and stuff, man, because you try not to carry around like firearms and stuff. And this is when I didn't have my license, so I carry around tasers, even though those are still illegal in Massachusetts. Um, I tried to tase a stripper. Yo, she came off really disrespectful. I think she was on the booger sugar, but God, I made her act right after, pull out that taser. I'm calling the police. Thank God she didn't know my real name, man. Like the, oh yeah, and they go crazy on you. Yeah, Spanish women are crazy, man. Oh yeah. One thing I always say, and this is why I don't really take Spanish women serious. They always go back to their own kind, though. They always go back to that Spanish cat or that white boy. Huh? Real talk. You'd be surprised. Evelyn has done it. Jennifer Lopez has done it. Jennifer Lopez is what's her name? Motherfucker from Arlington, Massachusetts or Cambridge, Massachusetts. Matt Damon. No, not Matt Damon. His boy Ben Affleck. She's going out with Ben Affleck right now because Ben Affleck don't want to have kids by her. I think they're about to get a divorce. You know, he don't want to be with her, man. He's like, yo, this bitch is crazy. You know, like one thing I can say about Jennifer Lopez, I think Diddy really loved her. Out of all the girls he messed with, I think Diddy loved her the most. You know, with her, like, yeah, I think because she didn't do no drugs. You don't hear about Jennifer Lopez doing drugs or being like an alcoholic. You know, no real talk. You never listen. Only reason why that she wasn't with Diddy is because of the whole shit with the gun. That shit would have fucked her career up. That's why she went with Ben Affleck. Like, fuck it. She sucked out. She probably sucked Ben Affleck's dick so good. She was like, yo, you ain't going nowhere. Oh, yeah. She put that succubus on him. It was a wrap. Diddy was hurting. He was hurt. Diddy was hurt. You don't see how bad Diddy was hurt? What was all the songs when Diddy got out of that court case? What are the first albums? I mean, what is the song that he put out? I wanna ride, ride, ride. I wanna make you be my wife. That's the first song he put out. Then what's the other one with was it? I think 112. How to treat a man. This is what I need. Dun, 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 dun. That one, yeah. He put out those songs. Those shits was about Jennifer Lopez. He really loved her, bro. You could tell by the songs that he put out, you know? Yeah, I know. But yo, did he really love Jennifer Lopez? Yeah. She was getting her freak on at the Diddy parties too. Don't be surprised. Yeah. You be surprised. Don't be surprised. Let me tell you something. Don't be surprised if her name comes up in the trial. Yeah. Her name, Will Smith, even Jay-Z and Beyonce. Their names might come up too. Yes, absolutely. I tell people all the time, Diddy will snitch on everybody before he goes to jail. I personally do believe that. You know, I don't think Diddy's going to jail. You know, no, I don't think it. First of all, if this is sex trafficking, only thing Diddy's in, only thing I think Diddy should go to jail for is beating the shit out of Cassie. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, and all that other stuff, or buying prostitutes. But then after that, that means Cassie has to go to jail for, buying prostitutes too. Because she participated in the freak offs with escorts. So I don't think he's going to go to jail. I think they're trying to juice up all his money. It's one of those things like know your place, nigga. It's one of those type of things. But with it all, it just never came up from the rest. I rock. Yeah, let me tell you something. That's the best thing to do. Just rock with the sisters. I'm gonna be personally honest. Um, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of other races and ethnicities they undermine black people and disrespect black people. And some of that shit's in their culture. How they disrespect like their husbands and their men and stuff like that. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. I don't think all that shit is meant for other people. People think, and let me tell you something. People always think, oh, yo, I'm dating out my race. I'm trying to do better and all this other. No, don't believe that shit. That shit's a lie. They ain't gonna treat you better. Some do it for mixed children. Others do it because the thrill. Other people do it because they think they can control that race. Yeah. Like some motherfuckers, some bitches, some racist bitches go out with black men because it's a fantasy. It's a racist fantasy. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Mm-hmm. You get that shit. Which part you don't? Which part you disagree? There's some races. There's a lot of nationalities that do that. They do that shit because they know they can undermine black people. There's some people, yeah. Some people go out with racist people go out with people that they're racist to because of a fetish. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Look at what's his name, Bill Maher. Bill Maher talks shit about black people, but he was in a relationship with Superhead. He was fucking Tiana Trump, paying for pussy. Tiana Trump. Yeah, you get those type of people. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a weird fetish, but yeah, some people got those type of weird fetish. In England, you don't see all those mixed kids running around. They get pregnant for an accessory. They want a mixed kid. Why you think people's crying over? Oh yo, our race is dying out. All their children is mixing with Africans and Caribbeans. Because what they see in America, you know. It's it's weird. I didn't say it's normal. It's just a weird thing. I've been to three married weddings in 9 months. And all the black men had non-black. Yeah, with the black men, it's you got to look at what type of guy it is. There be some guys that just like, oh yeah, I just fell in love with her. But there's other guys think that they marry a white woman, they're gonna get treated better than other black men. They're not gonna be looked at as a nigga or different. Look at Candace Owens. Candace Owens didn't marry that guy because of she loved the guy. She married him for status and how much she loved white men. Real talk. I'm driving, so I can't comment much as I want to. No, you could comment after, if anything. Definitely you could comment after. Like I always tell, you know, like God rest my soul, my grandfather did that shit. He like, yo, I heard stories like my grandfather left my grandmother at one time to go mess with a white woman because he thought he was gonna get treated better. He got a fucking rude awakening. That's how them old school motherfuckers is back in the day. Because my grandfather was born in what, in the 1920s, 1930s. That's what he seen. So he thought, you know what, they were gonna treat him better. Nah, that shit doesn't work like that. He never messed with a white woman ever, never again. My grandfather's like 6'5", 6'6" when he died. So it just, like I said, it depends on the black man, you know, because technically, black men does marry more black women than white women. It's just what they show us on TV. Most people think, oh yeah, they just marrying white women and all these other color women. Hold on one second. Candace Owens couldn't marry white men if she wasn't who she is. Um, Probably yeah. That what you just said right now. All right, yeah, Demonte. Just when y'all have time to talk, y'all can talk. You know me. I'm gonna be on here for like 3 4 hours. Um, I'm trying to answer your question, Yakubian first. YouTubian, sorry. Uh, with that, Candace Owens. There's something weird about Candace Owens. I think she always wanted to be white, or she always wanted white kids. You know, just her whole like her history from now into back in the days is just mad weird. It's just super weird. There's something off about Candace Owens. You think Serena could marry a white dude if she wasn't who she is? Um, like Serena's a cute one girl. She was cute back in the days, and she's thick, but um, she probably can. But she just married a weird guy. She married less than. I'm gonna be personally honest. She married less than. She was making more money, and still to this day, she makes more money than her husband. When her husband didn't have what he has now before he met her. She upgraded him. It's just my issue with that is those type of women that be like, oh yo, you know what? I gotta go to a white man if I'm trying to upgrade. That's bullshit. Cause most black women, they downgrade when they mess with white men. I will say that. Have you seen bitch don't look like it? Yeah, she looks different now, man. She looked like she could play off of white chicks too. You know, yeah, but she downgraded. Yeah, she's super downgraded. She's losing her body. She's not looking like she don't look healthy, man. She don't look healthy. She look like she's in a sinking place right now, or in that type of mindset like, damn, why did I do this? I love my kids, but why did I get in this type of situation? She knows she fucked up, you know. It's not like they broke. Like he has money, but it's just yeah, she looked like she could play off of white chicks too. It's just she's in a fucked up situation right now where she kind of feels like, damn, I don't know why I married this dude or why I had kids by this dude. Yeah, yeah. She thought she was gonna get treated better. A lot of people go through, and don't forget, even we could even go in like how her father was treated. Her father wasn't really respected like that. Yeah, she downgraded on her man. Yeah, she did. Like, let me give you another example. Eve. Eve has Eve's husband is a billionaire, but the thing about it, he has like 12 kids. He got mad kids. He got like at least 10 kids, plus the kid that she had by him. That's why when people was worried, like, yo, why you look all weird in that picture with all his kids? It's this is where I tell people all the time. This is like with certain mindsets where people be looking like, oh yeah, you know what? If I date this man, people gonna treat me better. People gonna look at me better. But don't forget, I always tell people all the time. This is why I said that's why I had that topic. Do black women downgrade when they date white men? And the reason why, because 9 out of 10 they most likely pays for the dinner. But they talk shit about black men where they're lazy. They gotta make out over $100,000, $150,000, make 2 or 3 million. He doesn't want any kids by Eve, and I don't think that's fair to her. Yeah, cause she only got one kid by him. She only got one kid by him, and it's. But that's what she. The thing about it, that's what she signed up for. Yeah, I understand if they would have got some like high quality type of white dude, you know, or some decent type of white dude where like they can meet 50-50. But they get in the lower of the lowest. Like look at the chick off of Higher Learning where Lathan what's his name? Van Lathan. That girl was the first black bachelorette and probably the first black that got a divorce too. Now she pays alimony to that man. And he took one of her vacation houses in Miami. Then was paying child support for his child. That girl was probably one. And the thing about it, it's so crazy. Yeah, Rachel Lindsay. Yes. That's why I say, yo, if he could have met halfway, if she would have signed a prenup, there wouldn't be no problem. You know? Some people just get tricked out of the bag. Or if you love me, why are you telling me to sign a prenup? This is for both of us. You know? She's paying alimony for her. Yeah. She fucked up. She was probably thinking like, yo, people gonna treat me better. People gonna be looking at me better. And I'm just telling you, this is what goes on in certain people's minds when they do shit like that. That's why, what's his name? RC, Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Clark said what he said about RG3. It wasn't because of, oh yeah, she's white. It's just because how he worshipped it. He didn't treat her like a human. He treated her like, yo, everybody's gonna treat me like better. He was saying weird shit like, oh yeah, this is why I like white milk. This is why I like milk. You know, it's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah. You got tricked out your bag. That girl really got tricked out her bag. And the sad thing about it, she's a lawyer. She's an attorney. That's what makes it look even more crazy. She's an attorney. She's a successful attorney. Not no more, but how you get tricked out your fucking bag? And it's not like, oh, yo, she come from a broke ass family. Her family's like one of these prestigious families, I think, in Texas. I think she's from Texas. That's the crazy part. He had it, yo, but also too, TK was being honest about that whole situation. Yeah, that's the crazy part. This is why she looks crazy out here. You know? And that's why I had it, yo, we had to do, yo, it was shine time that day when we were doing a podcast on her. It was so bad. It was like I was looking at her like, yo, what the fuck is going on, man? You know, and now you gotta blame the father, like the father who's the judge. You gotta blame her, like, yo, what type of fucking daughter would you raising? Like, yo, are you crazy? You did not tell your daughter to sign a prenup, a prenuptial agreement, knowing how much shit that your daughter had. That marriage didn't even last 5 years. That's the crazy part too. You know, it just people don't want to look at marriage. And like I always tell people all the time, I have nothing against interracial relationship. It's just when you look at the relationship for the other person's ethnicity, like that's gonna make it better. Yeah, made it a little crazy as hell, man. It was nuts, man. And the thing about, you couldn't even feel bad for her because at the end of the day, she signed up for that shit. Yeah. But the thing about it also too, people didn't know that. That's why people were looking even crazier. They didn't know that he came from a two-family household. Yeah, it's a landmine. Everybody better get their business right when you get married, man. She's below 5, so her low racial self-esteem took over. Yeah, people gotta work on themselves, man. Like, yo, people gotta understand. It's not like 20, 30 years ago when you can get married and like, yo, I really love this person. I really want to show my love for this person. The other person's thinking the same thing. The other person's appreciative. They looking at the fucking carrots. They looking at how the wedding's gonna be. They worry about who's coming to this wedding. Am I gonna have to sign papers? Like, yo, all of that. All of that. It gets crazy out here, man. Let me tell you something. I always tell women this. I was like, men want to get married so bad, but at the end of the day, they know there's a consequences to them getting married. Are you gonna make their life harder, or are you gonna make it easier for them to get married? If you're gonna make it easy for them, have them sign that prenuptial agreement. It's just, I'm just being personally honest. Have them like, yo, protect yourself. If you love that person, tell them to protect that money. I was like, if you really love me that bad, you tell me what you want to give me if we ever break up. It could be on some shit like that. But women ain't gonna do that these days. They're gonna be like, oh, what, you don't love me, or you don't trust me? It's not about trust. It's about like, yo, anything can happen. Anything could. I always tell people all the time, anything can go left. You can have, yo, the sun could be up, the grass might be like super green, the, yeah, and just like, yo, shit just happened. I'm a father of two, close to 50 years old, three women or two. So it's too late for me. Yeah, no, it's never too late for you. Never too late. You could find no. Let me tell you something. Yo, my uncle. If I show you a picture of my uncle's a beautiful man. Like, my uncle's a beautiful man. And pause. And my uncle been married twice. I'm talking about my uncle's five. My uncle's like 6 feet, 5'11" and a half. He's like my height. He's like 240, 250 of muscle. Workout every day. He's a journalist, spiritual person, marketer. He was it. He probably makes more than 2 to 300,000 a year, and like chicks went wild on him. Yeah. Before he got married the second time, yo, his ex-wife cut up his TV, cut up all his $1,000 suits and stuff. Yo, she went nuts, man. She went ape shit in that house, and they didn't even live together. He still married her because he loved her. You know, but her family try to run his career, try to run his life. Talk about, oh yeah, he's a disobedient husband or some shit like that. It's just who you marry, man. You'd be surprised, yo. You could be the best person in the world. It's just, if you get that girl that just doesn't appreciate anything, yeah, this is the type of shit that happens. But there's hope for you. 50 doesn't mean nothing, man. You're still in your prime, Del Monte. You're still in your prime. You know, it's a mental thing. It's how you see yourself, man. I'm 40 years old. I be forgetting that I'm 40 years old. All jokes aside, I forget that I'm 40. Give me a second. Yeah, I be forgetting that I'm 40 years old and stuff like that. Sometimes I be forgetting. I be thinking I'm 30, and I'm not even 30. Shit, I'm struggling. They definitely don't want me. No, you'll be surprised, man. Yo, get you an old school girl too, man. At least you get a good male. She'll take care of your children. She'll love your children. And you gotta get the girl who gonna love you like they're gonna love your children like they love you. Once you find that, you're good. And it's most of those girls. Let me tell you something. The girls that you're gonna get them successful girls too. Cause those girls understand now, like, damn, you know what? Like, you could be making like 60, 70,000 a year. And the girl could be like making like 150. She's gonna accept you more because at the end of the day, at least you can take care of yourself. And you taking care of your two kids. So is you'd be surprised. Get that old get the old school get that old school coochie, man. Don't get these young girls. Those shits come with problems, man. They don't even know themselves. They still trying to figure out themselves. You know? That's why when I was younger, I always got older women. When I was like, what, 21, I was dating like 30, 40-year-old women. And the reason why, first of all, they took care of me. Second of all, they taught me something. Third of all, is like, yo, I had a great time with them. You know? It's a different atmosphere when you date these young girls. First, they're gonna want to go to the club every weekend. Second of all, they probably broke, don't have no fucking job. They have no responsibility. Even if they do have responsibility, they're not gonna be 100% on it, depending on who they are. Get you an older school girl, man. Those older school girls, yo, they already know what they want. They're ready to settle down. They're ready to be happy with you. They're ready to cook. Just yeah, man. I always went after. Man, let me tell you something. When I was 30, no, not even my 30s. When I was like 26, 25, I was dating somebody my mother's age. My mother's like 17 years older than me. My mother had me when she was like 17. 17, yeah. But the thing about it, my mother got her associates, bachelor's, and her master's. That's the only thing. My mother was going to graduate when she was 16, so yeah. Um, yeah, man, them older girls, yeah, man. I got me an older girl, man. She was like my mother's age. My mother was just mad that she was she was white, you know. But I had a good time with her, and how I met her, she was a correctional officer. I got locked up because they thought I was somebody that they were looking for. They found out it wasn't me. I was with that girl for like 6 years. Yeah, bought me everything. They didn't want me to have a job nor nothing. Bought me my third BMW. Yeah, bought me an ATV. Got me fired from my job. She said, "I'm gonna take care of you." You know, just that's just how it was, man. Those older girls, they want to take care of a person. They want a person to do right. Yeah, man. You're gonna watch, man. You're gonna find a girl who got that woman's touch, man. You'll be fine, man. It's just like, first, it's just patient. Second of all, it's just going out there and seeing what's out there. Like, don't go to a club, go to a lounge, meet a girl in you. Sometimes, meeting a girl in a hospital is super dope. Like, going to an appointment. Say, hey, yo, can I take you out for a coffee or something small? Me, when I was single, I did coffee dates. Motherfuckers wasn't motherfuckers wasn't hipped on that. Motherfuckers was spending like $100, $200 on meals at the time. Me, I'm spending money on coffee and tea. Cause I didn't want to spend all this money on a date, and I didn't know who this girl was. Then after that, she was just there for food. They gotta come up to talk to me. No, sometimes you could just go out there, friendly flirt, just to show her that you're interested. It's one thing about it now in this era, girls want to be flirted with now. Because you know why? The feminists fucked it up where you couldn't talk to a girl. Now these girls just want, no, damn, why these guys ain't talking to me? What am I, ugly? No, you're not ugly. It's just like, yo, the feminists fucked it up for y'all. Where they had men scared to talk to you. Like you could do a little friendly flirt and stuff like that. Especially if she's an old school girl. She gonna want to flirt. Got one of those the wisdom hairs, the platinum hair. I call it wisdom hair. You need a little gray hair and stuff like that. pretty young thing, you know. Plus, you in Texas too. Yeah, you in Texas. Or who's that? Del Monte or Del Monte's in I forgot where you was at. I forgot where you live at Del Monte. Nah, don't know him, man. Sometimes you get a little more attention. Like, hey, how you doing? You know, be friendly with them and stuff. You know, then after that, go. She might come back like, yo, take my number down. It be like that. Keep in contact. You know, like girls now, man. They just KC, yeah. So definitely. Oh yeah, you got the good ones too, man. KC, yeah. Who's that? Missouri, right? Yeah, I think it's Missouri. Yeah. Ooh, you got some good ones in Missouri, man. So yeah, you're good, man. They all wear spandex, and yeah, this the more the merrier. Spandex, man. Hell yeah. Be like, yo, you wanna go out and stuff like that? See what she likes and stuff. Try to figure out what she likes. Try to, fit in something, reasonable with her and stuff like that. It don't have to be like super expensive and stuff like that. People nowadays think they have to spend so much money on women, man. Nah, just do something a little light and stuff like that. It's like, yo, I'm just, if she's like, oh yeah, we ain't going over, this expensive place. Yeah, man, because I'm trying to get to know who you are first. You know? They are too busy. Yeah, man. Yo, I'm telling you something. Yo, you might find out one girl that don't do that. So when you do that, man, don't try to take advantage of it. I will say that. Yeah, and Casey, yeah, Casey's dope. Oh no, I get what you mean. I got what you mean. Yeah, man. Just you definitely, man. You're in the right place, man. If not, you're near Alabama and Atlanta and stuff like that. I think Mississippi. So definitely, yeah, definitely do it. You're closer to those places too, man. Who knows? I don't know how far you are from them other states, but yeah, definitely, man. Sometimes you might have to go out of state to find somebody. You know, it's like things take time, man. My uncle's thinking about getting married again, and this gonna be his third marriage. So, like my uncle super. I always tell people all the time, my both of my this is another uncle. This is not the one who just got out of jail. My other uncle, smart guy, very wisdom. Like I chat with him all the time and stuff. He's helping me out with my media stuff, and I always ask him questions. I ask him questions about like the shit that we're talking about now. I asked him a question. I was like, yo. Why? Because I asked him about the girl like black women. I'm like, why do black women go out where the bare minimum of white men instead of getting the successful like we can look at all of that. Like look at what's her name, the Braxtons. What's the one who goes out with the white dude? He's a cool guy too. It's just you know it's over. And plus she was paying for everything. You know. Casey. Okay, say, but it gets. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, definitely. At one time, wasn't it like Murder Capital or some shit like that? Yeah, at one time it was like Murder Capital. I would say if you're a black man who his shit together, has his shit together, uh, pick out the letter. Yeah, I always tell people this. If you're a black man, just try to find a girl with a regular job. It don't have to be no super duper crazy job, you know. Regular job, it depends if you like kids or don't like kids and stuff like that. I always tell people all the time, if you're gonna date a girl with kids, meet the kid first and see if the shit's gonna work. You know, because you know what, somebody's father might not be shit. He might be an ain't shit type of nigga, and the kid likes you, and the kid, you're helping the kid, you know. And sometimes just kids need time. I'm not trying to say be the motherfucker's father. It's just like, yo, you can help him out. Cause as I always tell people all the time, it comes with that type of territory with certain people. With women who like, oh yeah, dated this guy and they broke up, the shit just didn't work. I can't do kid, two girls with kids. Yeah, see, so yeah, this might be a little bit hard for you because now everybody got kids. You know, yeah, it be like that sometimes. That's the reason I couldn't find a black girl. Yeah, man, it might be a little bit hard for you, man, because the kids thing. That's why I say, yeah, before you even make anything official, you're gonna have to meet the kid. You're gonna have to tell like, yo, I gotta meet your kids before I even. I live in Fort Worth. Hey, yo, is wasn't Pimp C from Fort Worth? I think he was from Fort Worth. You know, and also too, don't forget in this era, everybody does 50-50. Not everybody's gonna like pay for everything. There's nothing wrong doing 50-50. You know, so always keep that in mind. You know, if you're gonna build with a person, build with somebody you're gonna love, man. Sometimes the person you love have children. So I would tell you think out that box because it cuts the limits of what type of woman that you can have. Like if the girl just straight up obnoxious and she got kids and she's saying, "Oh yeah, I'm sipping, I'm sipping." I feel you. I feel you, my man. But be like that. Oh yeah, I'm sipping Brooklyn. Nah, you'll find yo. I don't know. Me, I was always into thick chicks, like super thick chicks and stuff. Like I remember I was fucking around with this Somalian girl. She was thick too. She was super thick. I was. This is when I was weighing like 153 at the time. This girl's, big butt, and everything, big tits, super thick, and like she was over the thickness, over the yam meter. She was a little BBC. But I don't mind BBC. That's the thing too. Especially if you got them cold winter times, man. Yeah, you can snuggle up with that. I'm big now. 215, 210 right now. I'm probably like 210 right now. I haven't ate anything today, man. I've been tired. Yeah, man. The super thickness, man. That's good, man. People be hating on fat women and stuff like, oh, yo, them fat. At least I tell people all the time, at least you won't go hungry, man. Oh yeah, I had me a super big one too. I had me a big one too. Had the curly hair and everything. Had the forehead and everything. Yeah, man. It's just this was when I was like 21 too. This was like almost 20 years too. 21 years, 19 years. Yeah, I was like 21 at the time. She lied about her age. No, I was like 19 at the time. She told me she was 21. She was only 18. I don't know, you lie about your age. I thought you was older than me. I was older than her. So yeah, I didn't have no job. I lost my job and everything. She took care of me. I don't go out much. I stay in the house, go get whatever I want. You're an introvert. You're kind of an introvert. You stick to yourself. You don't mind being by yourself. My uncle's like that. He's an introvert. Like what he does, he just got out of jail. All he does is look at stock markets all day and stuff. I'm thinking about surprising him and buying him a monitor. So give him like a 42-inch or something. Surprising him. And like I said, it comes with the territory. You know, he's fly about it too. Big old juicy pockets. Yeah. Don't let them people hate on fat women and stuff like that. You know, yeah, I always tell people that. Don't let them be hating on fat women. What, man? If I was single, I'll go with a fat girl. You know what? At least you won't go hungry. You be warm in the winter time. What else? They treat you better. Oh yeah, it be like that, man. Yeah, that Somalian girl was helping me out, man. Like got me a job. I fucked it up, man. I fucked myself up though. I could say I can admit that I fucked that relationship up, man. It comes with the territory, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Is and I actually really liked her. She was cool. We hung out. She used to pick me up in her car all the time, man. And I always say, and at the time, I love Ethiopians and they don't want their daughters around. Yeah, because you haven't got the right one. They probably just got off the boat and stuff. You know, those Ethiopians probably just got off the boats. But you'll get those Ethiopians that like black men. Yeah, they low and the mama. Let me tell you something. The mama be low key liking black men. It is what it is. You just gotta catch them on a nighttime where there ain't nobody there. Have a good conversation with her. Oh, yo, here, take my number. That's what they do. I dated an Ethiopian girl too. I dated one in. She was from Vermont. Her father, she was adopted too. You know, white people they always adopt kids and shit. Her father was her father was he has one of the most successful car lots in Vermont. Yeah, he was super dope. He was super nice to me and everything, you know. That's why I always salute to him every time. If I ever had a chance to see him, hey, yo, what's going on? I always tell him, yeah, he's my step pops. He's one of my step pops, you know. Always took care of me, man. He always was kind to me. I brought him to one of my modeling shows and stuff, man. It was a disaster, though. It was a very disaster show. Nah, I'll chop it up. Pretty sure I'm not putting up with the effort. When I'm out, I catch them looking, then they turn away. No, yeah, it be like that sometimes with them. I always, this is what I do. Yeah, Vermont, yeah. Yo, in Burlington, Vermont, mad Africans. Mad Africans. Oh, yeah. Most like Congo and Nigerians. Congo people, I tell people all the time, only type of like Africans that I kind of like is people from like France. Yeah. Those are like black people. Those are real black people. Yeah. The ones from France. Yeah. Yo, let me tell you something. The person that who was it Offset or take was it not take off? Was it Quavo who got in an argument with the dude in France? His name is Gazo. I used to listen to his music. Gazo, he's like a nigga. He run with like 50 dudes. And they all run at you, beat you up, kick you. Yeah. They be on that FBA shit in France. There's this other dude named Chali. Chily. He remind me of what's his name? Who's the dude who just got out of jail from New York? They call him Zesty now. Fuck, black Jamaican dude. Kind of body like a week ago. That dude. Bobby Smurda. Chali remind me of Bobby Smurda. He be dancing on tables and shit. Chali. His name is Chali. Cause I understand France. I understand French a little bit. So, yeah, yo, this motherfucker did 2 years in jail for beating up the police. Him and his boy did. So, yeah, they be on that FBA shit in France. Another dude named Dazo. Yeah, he runs down on people. Yeah, they're inspired by FBA people, and they will tell you I'm inspired by black people. Yeah, I don't know who you talking about. These are French people. These are African French people They be on FBA stuff like, yo, they're inspired by us. They'll tell you like, yo, I can't. He said, I'll never live in America because at the end of the day, I'm not used to that type of violence. Because their violence is like, yo, they'll run down on you. 20, 30 of them people run down on you and your security guard. Yeah. That's why they had to get Quavo out of there. His name was Gazzo. I know Gazzo. I even spoke to Gazzo a few times. He's like that. And there's another, yo. We talk about what's his name? Pusaisti. There's this guy. He was wearing a ski mask before Pusaisti. His name is Yeah, they are. But at the end of the day, these are the only black people I always will say that, like, yo, they won't talk shit about black Americans. This is the only people I can vouch for. This people here, yeah, they'll run down on you. Yeah, they be on that FBA shit. They imitate us. And they'll tell you, like, yo, we get this shit off of American TV. He's like, this is all we watch down here. We don't do that shit that. He's like, it's different. Because at the end of the day, they're like us. Where they're trying to get out, yo, they're just trying to get these motherfuckers out the country. But they can't because they're citizens. These motherfuckers was already here. So they don't know black American people. Only thing they know is, okay, Africans. So yeah, what was it? If we pull up, they'll hit. No, they won't hit on us. They can't even speak English. They'll imitate us. That's the only thing. They imitate us. But one thing I could tell you, they still keep their tradition. That's the only thing. They keep their tradition. So, like, yeah, you know how people be like, oh, you know how Akon came here? He said, oh, yeah, Africans did this, Africans did that, and don't keep his tradition? These motherfuckers keep their traditions. He said, yeah, there's this guy named Naza. This is why I'm into everything. There's this guy named Naza, Naza. Yeah, it's sad, but at the end of the day, they keep their tradition where they be like, okay, you know what? This is black tradition, but this is FBA tradition, but this is my tradition right here. I can't just use anything because at the end of the day, they don't know everything about black Americans. You know, the most copy. Yes, you're right. The most copy is FBA culture. They even dress like us, and they say, "Yo, we wear Burberry, we wear Gucci because black Americans." Yup, he said that. Yeah, everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. Yeah, yeah, it's true. You know, these are like. That's why I always tell people all the time. I don't get these Africans that are in America. They talk shit about us, but at the end of the day, they imitate us. They steal our culture and say, "Oh yeah, it was our ancestors. This is African ancestor stuff." No, the fuck it's not. It has never been African ancestor shit. We don't know nothing about Africa. I tell people that shit all. We don't know nothing about Africa. You know. That's why when we dance and stuff like that, it's just some shit that we used to do like probably 200 years ago, 300 years ago. You know. I said, and this is why I say like I use French Africans because you know, yeah, they biting. But at the end of the day, they always say that they were influenced by us. At least this is what we always ask. Like, just say, like, yo, you got that shit from us. You don't gotta lie and say, like, oh yeah, this came from Ghana, then that shit over here came from Nigeria. No, they say, yo, it came from America. It came from black people in America. That's why I say, yo, you know what? I appreciate when people are truthful. There's this albino guy that wears a ski mask. He been wearing ski masks from Pooh Shiesty, but he didn't say, oh yeah, Pooh Shiesty stole it from me. No, they ain't on no shit like that. They just say like, yo, yeah, this is black culture. That's all it is black culture. It's not like fucking England. You go to England, they be like, oh yeah, the Nike Tech came from England, and we've been wearing Nike Tech since the late 70s, early 80s. You know, it's crazy, you know. Me, I just want people to just appreciate that, like, okay, yeah, that's our culture. And we evolutionize how people dress, you know? Like, slang is starting to get corny now. Yeah. They are sliding into the culture a little bit. Yeah, they are. They are. But it's just, I just tell people you welcome. You don't ever gotta say thank you. I'm gonna just tell you welcome. Now you know what? Now you gotta show. You know what? Now people want a lot. Yeah, Nike Tech. Yeah, the motherfuckers in England talk about Nike Tech came from fucking England. Fucking it says made in USA. The fuck how the fuck it came from it? Yo, people are crazy, man. They don't want to never give us Black Americans credit. That's why we're the most hated. You know. That's why also too I appreciate when people say like, "Yo, thank you." You know what? This shit came from Black Americans. So know what? At least we appreciate that. You know what? They know that we did this. They're hip hop. They say, "Yo, they got that from Black people." They don't say, "Oh yeah, we got this from the ancestors." No, they got this from Black America. You know? No, you're never too late, pimp. You know? You're never too late. It's just I always just want people to appreciate our culture as we appreciate everybody else's culture. We pay homage to other people's culture. So when people do that, at least it's like yeah, it's mad late, but thank you, about time. You know? At least they had to do it. And the thing about it, we don't hear from them. We don't hear them saying that they were influenced by us because we don't have that shit in France. And plus, half of us can't even speak French. So it is what it is. It's just. And the thing about I learned French when I was on that Pan African shit, and thinking that Pan African was helping us, not knowing that nobody in Africa fuck with Pan Africanism. You know, like nobody in Africa fucks with Pan Africanism. They just started fucking with it because they're in trouble. This is the first generation to dive into what they have said between. Yeah, most of that shit was low key because at the end of the day, we're their bread and butter. But the thing about it, we made it okay, and I think, and I'm gonna not say us. I'm gonna say the generation before us made it okay for these motherfuckers to disrespect us. They made it okay for everybody to disrespect us and made us use us as a punching bag. So when we fight back, it's different. Oh, xenophobic. These niggas don't like us. Like what? We just say, oh, nigga, look at your land, look at your country. How you talking about the projects and you don't got no electricity? Your electricity goes off at 5 p.m. and you gotta walk 10 miles to get water from the lake. And you usually drinking anaconda piss. Like what the fuck? How the fuck you talk about Black Americans? You know? My company sent our team to meet the database company we work with, and it was Taiwan, and people know who Travis Scott is. Yeah, cause the thing about it, I'm gonna say this: Asian people, they know what's the future. Like you got Asian people wearing dreads now. We made Asian culture dope. After Bruce Lee, who else was it? It was Wu Tang. Nobody wasn't really fucking with Chinese like the Chinese culture like that. I think their parents told them this stuff in order to put. Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, everybody knows Travis Scott though too. But their family told them that bullshit about us. And the thing about it, they talk about 10%. They 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 talk about us because of 10% of the people of our people. 10% of our people are fucking idiots. Yes, we know that. There's 43 million, there's over 43 million black Americans. They think, but there's only 100,000 gang members. Well, there's more gang members, but there's 100,000 active Crips and Bloods. We can even say 200,000 just to be on the safe side. That's not even like 2% of black Americans. But they all label us that. You know? It's crazy. First time I ever seen grown man living in a one bedroom crib was telling. Yeah. It's true, man. Cause they gotta get what they get. They gotta get what they need first. You know, so they ain't got no choice. But they be living with like 3 of their cousins and all of that. It's just 3 of their cousins, they all paying $50 each or like $100 each, depending on how much the rent is. Yeah, just one motherfucker be sleeping on the floor, the other one be sleeping on a kitchen table, kitchen counter, and everything. Yeah, shit's nuts, man. The other one got their boyfriend there. You know, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, man. Like, we personally don't fuck with our people like that because some of them be like, oh yeah, since we're family, oh, you don't gotta pay rent on time. No, nigga, you gotta pay rent on time. You got us fucked up. You know? Then some people just don't want to deal with that. So people got that in the back of their mind. But that's not all people. We got more people gotta understand black Americans are the most successful people out of all the black diaspora. There's no other country, there's no other race or ethnicity that is more successful than black Americans. People could talk about this Nigerian shit, but Nigerians aren't successful. You got a few people that are nurses and doctors, but all the rest is like gypsy cab drivers, and they clean shit for a living. So we're not gonna do that, you know. We're not gonna act like black Americans aren't the best. It's just a headache just hearing that bullshit. That's why I always tell people all the time, don't listen to that Myron Gaines bullshit. That shit has never been truthful. That shit has never been facts. You know? Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I just seen a red light. No, I'm fine. Yeah. So you just gotta be careful with fake news and shit like that. But hey, let's get to the topic, everybody. Should Americans be careful of white women in 2025? You know. Reason why I said that because I was telling you I was watching the Karen Reed case. I was telling my coworker too. I think she's another supervisor. I was like, yo, Karen Reed did that. Karen Reed is the lady who ran over her boyfriend who was a cop. It was dismissed, but they retrialed the case. She's on her day 22. Yo, they put out a tape on her talking about, I'm gonna kill you. Let me see if I can find that. Karen Reed threatened. Yeah, man. I think, no, was it this one? Let's see what this one says first.
Defense team takes center. Karen Reed exiting court this afternoon appearing confident.
Why do you want to call my...
As her defense team takes center stage in her murder retrial over the 2022 death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Reed is accused of backing into O'Keefe with her Lexus SUV on a cold winter night and then leaving O'Keefe to die alone in the snow.
There was no collision proven to have occurred. There was no eyewitness presented. There was no video evidence, no audio evidence.
Her defense calling their first witness.
Hey, yo, and she looked like a killer. She looked like she killed more than just one boyfriend. I ain't even gonna lie. That bitch looked crazy as fuck. And yo, what's so crazy about it? She smiles when she leaves the court and just all of that. Yo, she looks crazy. That's why I asked the question, should America be, hold on, what did I say? Should America be careful with white women? This girl out here killing motherfuckers and shit. So I would be scared to date her. Like, yo, people gotta understand this. Hold on. Oh, it's still going. People gotta understand that once you get charged with murder, that shit's always gonna stick on you. Every time they hear Karen Reed, oh yeah, that's the bitch that killed the police officer. Oh yeah.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yes, I do.
An engineer who analyzes crash data, who testified that data from Reed's SUV showed no signs of a crash on the night of O'Keefe's death.
What did the data recorder indicate, if anything, related to any impact on January 29th, 2022?
There were no recorded events whatsoever on the ACM.
Contradicting a digital forensic expert called by the prosecution, who testified the data showed a possible collision just seconds after O'Keefe's iPhone was unlocked for the last time.
Based on the initial reports,
yes,
the phone interaction always occurs after the end of the vehicle event.
The defense tasked with countering 40 witnesses and 23 days of testimony brought by the prosecution.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
And evidence including a shattered cocktail glass near the scene and a broken taillight on Reed's SUV. The forensic witnesses testified contained O'Keefe's DNA. Another hurdle for the defense, videos the prosecution played in court of Reed speaking to various documentary crews and appearing to admit she wondered if she had hit O'Keefe.
So, I thought, could I have run him over? Did he come and hit the back of my car and I hit him in the knee and he's drunk and passed out?
Now, with her own words being used against her, Reed hinting she's considering taking the stand herself.
Karen, what can we expect from the defense? Will you testify?
TBD.
To try and prove her innocence one last time.
Aaron McLaughlin joins us now in studio. So, Aaron,
Yo, she think this shit is a joke. She about to go to jail, and she laughing out here. Like, yo, this shit is crazy, man. I think white people should be scared. White men should be scared. Like, yo, damn. These white bitches just trying to kill me. Hold on, Yeah, these white men should be scared out here. I've been told people, like, yo, y'all should be scared out here, man. Yo, these white women are killing you. We're used to them trying to kill us. She ran over her boyfriend that was a police officer. That's what she did. Yeah. She ran over a police officer that was her boyfriend. Yeah, man. Let me see if I can find that tape. There was a tape. Voice message. Oh, I think this shit is it right here.
But with endurance, you could.
Yeah. It was a mistrial the first time, but they reopened that case, man. I think she did it. I'm going to be personally honest. I think she killed him. Hold on. So I told people, I was like, yo, personally, the girl should have said, yo, the motherfucker was putting his hands on me. So I ran him over. At least you would have got like 2 years. And I'm talking about you probably wouldn't even go to jail. You probably get probation. Bitch look like one of them. Yeah, I just said that shit too. Yeah, the bitch don't got no job. That's why I was saying, how's she paying for all this shit? You know, yeah, the bitch, she killed him. You know, I think she did it. Hold on, let me see if I can find the voicemail. Hold on. Oh, I think this is it right here. Look at, she's
a
all
smiling
happy.
Karen Reed greets supporters before entering court for day 11
She's
of
smiling.
her
She
trial.
think this shit is
But her
cool,
mood
man.
was a lot different in voicemails she left for her boyfriend that were just played in court. Reed left the blistering message after dropping off Boston cop John O'Keefe at a party. Then she drove home and waited for him. And waited. Prosecutors say she was in a jealous rage.
John, nobody knows what the you want to hurt her.
The former college professor called O'Keefe's cell phone a mind-blowing 53 times between 12:37 a.m. and 6:08 a.m. In this voicemail, she accuses him of cheating.
As a girl, you're a loser. Yourself.
Matt Johnson is covering the trial for Court TV.
You can hear just how angry Karen Reed was,
I think
but
she
as
did.
they were played, Karen Reed was just paying close attention and not really showing any emotion.
What is Karen Reed's defense saying about those angry voicemails?
You have the defense saying she had no idea where he was. She was angry because she felt that she was abandoned by him and she wanted to know where he was.
In another dramatic moment, a Massachusetts state trooper held up O'Keefe's Nike sneaker, along with broken taillight fragments found at the crime scene. O'Keefe was found dead in the snow around 6 a.m. outside the home where Reed had dropped him off. She's accused of mowing him down in her Lexus SUV in a drunken fit of fury.
Yep.
Karen
yeah.
Reed's defense team claims she's being framed, that O'Keefe was killed in a fight with someone inside the house.
Nah, she did that shit. I think she did that shit, and I think I'm gonna say this. I think she did that shit, and I think she had help. That's what I'm gonna say. I think she had help get him killed. The reason why I'm saying that because I think hold on 1 second. We're gonna see highlights of this shit. Hold on. We're gonna do this one first. Prosecutor highlights. No, Karen Reed highlights. Murder trial. Best moments right here. All right, everyone. I'm gonna be right back.
You will learn that on January 29th of 2022, when the defendant and Mr. O'Keefe were in front of 34 Fairview Road, you will learn that Mr. O'Keefe got out of the car and he stood by the side of the road after an argument with the defendant. She clipped John O'Keefe. He fell backwards, hit his head, broke his skull, and she simply drove away.
Karen Reed is not guilty of hitting John O'Keefe with her SUV. There was no collision. She's the victim of a botched and biased and corrupted investigation that was never about the truth, folks. It was about preserving loyalty.
Did you receive a phone call?
Yes, from Carrie Roberts. She said John was found in a snowbank. They don't know what happened.
And at some point, you ran over to where Miss Reed was.
Yes. EMTs were around and they were working on the body. She was running around and saying, did I hit him? Did I hit him? Is he dead? Is he dead?
There was a woman next to us who told her to calm down, stop talking, calm down, you're hysterical. So she repeated, I hit him. And a police officer asked her, said, you what? And she repeated it again, I hit him.
At some point, were you with the defendant when she spoke to an officer and a first responder?
Yes. She told the first responder, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Was it important to you, before you testified, to tell these jurors, under oath, that my client said, I hit him 3 times?
As a juror, as a witness, it's important to tell the truth and to answer the question you were asked.
And in point of fact, in your entire grand jury testimony, you never said, my client said the words, I hit him, did you?
Again, it's 227 pages.
Ms. McCabe, you were there. They're your words. I'm not asking you to rehearse something. You were there. Did you tell the grand jurors that my client said I hit him?
I have testified a number of times, but I was there the morning of January 29th when your client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
The defendant stated that she dropped Mr. O'Keefe off at 34 Fairview. She did not see him go in the house. She was asked about the damage to her rear taillight, to which she stated, quote, I don't know how I did it last night. She stated that she made a 3-point turn and left.
When you came out of Meadows, did you have a chance to look at the defendant's taillight on her Lexus?
Yes. Karen pointed out and said, look, my taillight. And she said, do you think I hit him?
Do you recognize that item?
Yes.
Is that one of the items you bagged that night?
Yes.
That night, do you recall if there was any other pieces of taillight recovered?
I believe in total we located maybe 6 or 7 pieces of taillight.
What type of work were you assigned to do in this case?
So I was given items of plastic for comparison. The red plastic that I sampled from from the debris from the clothing was found to be consistent in color, microscopic appearance, and instrumental properties with the portions that I sampled from the red plastic from the taillight.
He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see, but could I have done something that knocked him out and in drunkenness and in the cold didn't come to again?
And this would have been the moment you dropped him off at the party.
Yeah, would have had to.
His body was completely covered, but his head was completely covered, so I started to dig around his face and his eyes, and his left eye was fine, but his right eye looked like it was huge, like he had something happen to it.
There were a series of cuts and bruises to the right arm. There was also a bruise on that same arm on the back of the hand.
Did you come to a conclusion about the manner and cause of Mr. O'Keefe's death?
The cause was blunt impact injuries of head and hypothermia, and the manner was undetermined.
What was the total snow accumulation from the storm in its entirety?
23.8 inches.
So just short of 2 feet, is that correct?
That's correct. The ground was frozen. The soil was frozen, and the surface of the ground was frozen. And it would have made the ground impenetrable.
Why did you go back to the spot where John was lying when you first saw him?
When they lifted him up, there was grass underneath him, and I could see his phone.
At 31 minutes and 56 seconds, we start the health event that shows 36 steps were taken. The message, pull behind me, is red. 32 minutes and 9 seconds, the message's application is closed. And the device is locked for the last time.
At 12:53, that's about, what, 21 minutes or so after that phone stops moving? What's the temperature?
61 Fahrenheit.
You mentioned that you were looking for time information or power on information regarding 2 events.
Correct.
Can we characterize those events as text stream events?
Yes, we can. That second text stream event is a backing up maneuver.
When you looked at the time from the Lexus clock regarding that backing event, did you do an analysis of John O'Keefe's phone?
Yes, I did.
When you apply that variance between the Lexus clock and Mr. O'Keefe's phone,
The time of that event with the clock variance adjusted is between 12:32:04 and 12:32:12.
You would agree that there's not even a degree called Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration offered at the University of Alabama, correct?
Correct. That should be Bachelor of General Studies with minor in Mathematics and Business Administration.
And what you just articulated, you do not possess as you sit here today, correct?
That is correct.
just a few days before this incident, you'll hear that Mr. O'Keefe asked her to leave, but she wouldn't.
At 12:37:08 a.m., the defendant calls John, and voicemail number 1 is left. 12:59:24 a.m., the defendant calls John, voicemail number 3 is left.
John, I'm here with your kid. Nobody knows what the you want, pervert.
Do you know if there was any jealousy in that relationship?
Karen wouldn't let, they did everything together, a lot of things together, and I thought at times, yeah, you could see, she didn't want other women around John.
The niece of the victim, Officer John O'Keefe, she took the stand today. She was soft-spoken as she talked about the breakdown in the relationship. Then they went into details about the possible motive in that Aruba trip. She said that there was a lot more tension and fighting. And then she went on to describe the fact that her uncle, who again she called JJ, asked Karen Reed to leave his home after that trip, that New Year's trip, and Karen Reed refused to.
The totality of, to put a label on the whole thing, my opinion is that she's trying to get revenge.
Get revenge
Yes, get revenge.
on John
Yeah.
for what happened on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Damn. I think that girl did that shit. I ain't even gonna lie. All jokes aside, I think she did it. I think she did it, man. Like, it's just like, yo, she freaked out. She freaked out on her, after he took her out on, was it Aruba or whatever he took her out on? And I think she was already cheating. That's why I was saying, like, yo, I think somebody was helping her. She was probably fucking somebody else. Yeah, that's how it be sometimes. Give me a second. Yeah, it just... Yeah, man. Then they had like emails and shit, and like, yo, like that email that that voicemail you heard, you got to hear the whole thing. That shit gets dark. You just heard the decent part of it. But I think she did it. I'm going to be personally honest. I think she did it. Give me 1 second. Is my camera, man? I personally think she did it. Am I think she's gonna get away? No, I think they're gonna smoke her this time. She's gonna get smoked this time. And if anything, I think she needs to take a plea deal, cause this shit's about to get crazy. And Karen Reed's from Massachusetts. I don't know what she does, but all I know is like, yo, she was controlling the guy. They had pictures of her, videos with her and him at the bar and stuff like that. And like, yo, she was acting crazy. Yeah. Like she was bugging the fuck out, And I'm gonna say this, there's women like her out here, man. It's crazy, man. Y'all gotta be careful with women like that out here, man. Like y'all really do, because at the end of the day, we're gonna get on to this next guy. I think this guy's African. Hold on. His girlfriend does OnlyFans and stuff like that, and like it just went left. Everything just went left. And this one I'm gonna break down, I'm gonna stop, but yeah. It gets dark.
A very successful career. While 26-year-old Courtney Clenny is a social media star. She has over 2 million followers and has built a very successful career. While she's very visible on Instagram, she also has an OnlyFans page. This is a place where her fans can pay her through the app for access to videos and images you will never, ever see on Instagram. She was so successful that she was living in a plush apartment in Miami, where monthly rents are between $10,000 and $12,000 a month. She was living with her boyfriend, Christian Obonselli, until April 3rd of 2022, when Courtney used a knife to kill him. She is claiming self-defense, but prosecutors say she was the aggressor the day she killed Christian, just like she was the aggressor in this elevator 2 months before the killing. What exactly was going on in this volatile relationship? Who was the victim and who was the abuser? And how did that knife end up killing?
Yo, Rando. That's the jersey you was just talking about. Legend Larry. Larry Legend.
Victim and who was the abuser? And how did that knife end up killing Christian? We'll take a closer look as we investigate the Courtney Clenny OnlyFans murder case.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thanks for joining us. There are a lot of young people who are making a lot of money online, and they do it as influencers. Courtney Clenny, whose name online was Courtney Taylor, made a lot of money doing that. Here are some of her Instagram pictures, and on Instagram, you're an influencer. You get a big following, and then people want to pay you to influence your followers to buy certain products or go to certain restaurants. It's a real business, and it's for real money. But Courtney Clenny also made money taking her clothes off.
Oh, no.
And performing certain acts, sometimes alone and sometimes with her boyfriend, Christian Obonselli. Now, this wasn't on Instagram. This was on OnlyFans. And this is a place where fans of hers can pay money and then have access to these images. And she made a whole lot more money doing that. 7 figures worth of money. Big time money. Money that led to a lifestyle where she and Christian would travel around, go to Vegas, live in Miami, beautiful apartment, all of that. But it all ended when Courtney took a knife and took the life of Christian. Here's her mugshot from that day. Now, let me get to the autopsy, because I want to zero in and focus in right now on how Christian Obonselli died. Dr. Hutchins determined that the cause of death was a stab wound to the chest and the manner of death was homicide. Okay. Specifically, though, he found that the victim was stabbed and the knife punctured the subclavian artery in his right chest. The knife entered in a downward angle to a depth of 8 centimeters.
Damn.
Okay, so for most of us looking at that, reading that, it's like, okay, so she had a knife and she stabbed him. But that's not what she said happened. I want you to take a listen to her police interview, where she is describing what she says happened and how that knife ended up in Christian Obonselli and ended up taking his life.
go. I grabbed a knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he's coming at me like he's gonna grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I drew it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa.
Okay.
Like
comparing to what
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head.
So she's saying that she threw the knife. That she threw the knife at him, and that's how he died. But he was coming at her, right? So she's coming at him, and then he throws the knife. Here's what the same doctor who did the autopsy testified to at a hearing about whether or not he believes that this knife could have been thrown.
Based on the information you received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
I'm not an expert in knife throwing. If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is a type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
So let's get to the bottom of this question, which is it possible, does it make any sense that Courtney Clenny could have thrown the knife at Christian, and that's how the knife ends up in his chest? Let's bring in our own expert. Joining us, distinguished scholar of applied forensics, host of the Body Bags podcast, and professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, Joseph Scott Morgan is with us tonight. Joseph, great to see you tonight. Thanks so much. Let's talk about how that knife could possibly end up in his chest. Does this story that she's telling investigators, make any sense to you based upon what we learned from the autopsy?
No, it doesn't whatsoever. And keep in mind the forensic pathologist that you guys had up on the stand in that pretrial motion or hearing, he's talking about a downward angle of this knife. So downward means that she would have been in a dominant position relative to him if she was even capable of throwing this knife and exerting enough velocity and at the proper release point. This knife that you guys have done a great job, production always does a great job with Court TV, by the way. This image, this knife is actually a kitchen knife. This is not a throwing knife, which has a certain balance to it. People that throw knives know this. And so I think she's kind of reaching for something here, if you will. This knife actually clips the subclavicular artery. And if folks at home will find your collarbone right here, your clavicle, okay? There's a major artery that runs right beneath here. And I don't know if you recall, Vin, you could hear him, I think, on a 9/11 call. I have a memory of this where he's kind of drifting off. And I can tell you this, though we see a lot of blood at the scene, he would have had probably a chest full of blood as well. He would have literally been drowning internally within his chest. And it's kind of a slow death. And you can hear him kind of gradually.
She said she threw a kitchen knife at him. That's crazy. She said she threw a kitchen knife at him and stuck. I doubt that shit that it happened. And like, she's not a bad looking chick. It's just, nah, we can't believe that bullshit that she's trying to spew off. You know? And yo, what's so crazy about it too is that they didn't lock her up for like a few months. They let her go like the same day.
Fading out, losing consciousness.
How much force does it take? And again, the knife punctured the artery in his right chest. The knife entered in a downward angle to the depth of 8 centimeters.
Yeah. So it's going to take quite a bit of of energy in order to do this. And you have to think about, and if folks at home will just envision holding a knife, and if you're in a defensive position, for somebody that's not trained with knives, you might grip it so that the blade is running in this direction and you're stabbing. Just think of the old movie Psycho, and so you're stabbing like this. This gives you a downward trajectory. Even though in the image that you see of the two of them side by side, he's dominant. And even in the image in the elevator, in that moving image, he's significantly taller than her, and she's reaching up to punch him and to hit him and that sort of thing. Even in that motion like that, when she swings at him, you can see that is kind of demonstrative of a downward strike. So if she's holding a knife and she goes in like this, then she can do quite a bit of damage holding the knife. Not throwing the knife, though. It's going to be superficial at best, and certainly for somebody that might.
They don't even got her with first-degree murder. They got her with second-degree murder. That's crazy. This bitch killed somebody, and they only gave her second degree.
Might have her strength in order, or lack of strength in order to be able to facilitate this. He's a big guy, Ben, and he's very thick through the chest, too. She would have come at him in a rage, and I worked a lot of cases over the course of my career with kind of familial, relationship violence, things like this, and knives are always the worst. And it's a very intimate form of homicide because they're trying to rip the person apart.
Do you see any significance, though, in this case where it seems there's the one stab wound? We're not talking about an entire series of stab wounds. You mentioned the movie Psycho, and the image is multiple, and that's not necessarily what we're hearing here.
No, and I think that it's been kind of a progression in this case. We've got what at least appears to be some level of domestic disturbance within their relationship over a period of time. It's just at this one point in time, she chooses allegedly to arm herself with this knife. And this is another thing in domestic events like this. As investigators, we look for what are referred to as weapons of opportunity, those things that are at your fingertips. It's not like she would have been walking around with a serrated kitchen blade in her hand. She essentially grabs this thing from the shelf, or maybe it's in a knife block, who knows, and begins to wield this thing. And as she's striking at him, we can see her throwing hands, as folks say, in these moving images that are there. All you got to do is put a knife in her hand, and that will get the job done.
And before we run out of time, we have less than a minute right now. The 911 call is made. Emergency responders get there. He doesn't make it. Are you surprised that they weren't able to save him here?
No, he would have had to have been at an emergency room. They would have had to have opened his chest and gone in and tied that vessel off. It's one of the most lethal areas, other than perhaps and I'm talking about the viscera of the chest, other than maybe a strike to the aorta or the pulmonary artery, hitting the subclave. You're in a real dangerous area there, Ben.
Joseph Scott Morgan, Jacksonville State University, Body Bags Podcast. Always great to have.
Yo, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be the first one to say that. She's kind of trying to claim that self-defense shit. Nah, I don't believe that shit one bit. I'm going to be personally honest. I think she wanted to kill that motherfucker. All jokes aside.
Your insight, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Vin.
Okay, when we come back, is Courtney Clenny a victim herself? We'll try to answer that question when we come back.
Did a customs agent commit cold-blooded murder?
Marsha Thompson is accused of fatally shooting her husband as he's lying on a couch.
Tani get really these questions. This will make you scratch your head a little bit. This was a statement from Frank Prieto, her attorney, after she's arrested. Courtney was seeking treatment for her PTSD and related issues to this case, and it is an absolute injustice to charge a victim of domestic violence and human trafficking with a crime. Courtney was clearly defending herself. We will vigorously defend Courtney and clear her of this unfounded and baseless charge. Some of that is normal stuff that is said by defense attorneys. You know, we'll clear, they're innocent, all of that. But claiming she's a victim of domestic violence and human trafficking. And we know what she was doing on OnlyFans. So what is the allegation here? It's not the only time we...
Like, I'm going to say this. It looks bad because the guy's black. The guy's black. And give me a second, everyone. Let me see if you can hear me. Testing, testing. All right, y'all can hear me. Yeah, it looks bad because the guy is black. We could be honest about it. Black guy pimping out a white woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, doesn't look good. So all she got to do is like, oh yeah, it was the Negro. The Negro was making me suck dick and, you know, anal fucking all this other crazy shit. It looks very, very bad. But I don't think she's going to get off on this one. I'm sorry. I think she's going to jail. Yeah.
We have this allegation. We also have it from Courtney Clenny herself. 2 days before that knife ends up in Christian, they'd been having a lot of incidents at the place where they lived. The neighbors wanted them out because of all the fights. But take a look at what happens in the lobby and listen to what Courtney Clenny is asking for.
I feel like I am.
All right, so what do you want to say?
I want to be like, I want to be like exonerated, I guess, of like anything wrong. And I want him. Okay, the police are here.
Did she say exonerated?
What do you want to say?
I want to be like, I want to be like exonerated, I guess, of like anything wrong. And I want him. Okay, the police are here. I want a restraining order against Christian Ubunzelli.
We don't issue those.
Because, no, I'm serious.
To courts.
Can I do that?
You have to go to court. You have to go to downtown.
How can I make myself first? Because I know him and he would do it. How can I make myself first?
You got to get there first.
175 Northwest First Avenue.
Before
175 Northwest.
Is he already on the way?
We have no idea. We don't even know how it looks like.
We don't even know who he is. How do we know that?
So you question this. I need a restraining order against him.
Okay, do you hear all this?
Listen.
Okay, they're listening.
Who's on the phone with you?
Just my dad.
Okay, well, let me
Which I think is
let me explain to you something with your dad on the phone so you could hear me. You asked me, how can I get a restraining order against him? I answer you, we don't issue those. That's through court. You asked me, I need to get one before him. I told you, the only way is for you to get to court. Then you asked me, is he on the way already? And I asked you, I didn't even know how he looks like. You understand? Your questions are making much of an...
I am... Right now, like, I have not always been a victim, but, like, right now, I'm a freaking victim in the situation. I'm scared to go downstairs and walk my dogs. I just walked them, and I told them, you don't have a chance, and now, all of a sudden, this is all happening.
What's his name?
Christian Tobecha Kubobum.
Christian?
Please, just, like, don't get me kicked out of my own apartment.
And you have to remember, she's the one who rented the apartment. It's her apartment. He's living in there with her, but it's her apartment. She's spending $10,000 to $12,000, somewhere in that range, per month to live in this very posh apartment complex. But again, the neighbors want him out because of all the fighting. So what's going on here? Let's bring in some more experts to answer this question. Criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, certified domestic violence expert, and registered nurse, Marie Pereira is with us. Also joining us, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert witness, and columnist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Great to have you both here. Marie, what are you seeing? What are you hearing in this moment? Because this is, you know, less than 2 days from when a knife ends up in Christian Obumseli. She's talking to police about wanting to get a restraining order.
I think she, in this instance, appears to be using the system. Courtney Clenny doesn't strike me as a person who's truly a battered woman, because typically women who are battered to this extent where they're claiming they have some sort of PTSD, battered woman-related syndrome, they have low self-efficacy. They're not in charge. Their self-esteem is low. They're not in control. She seemed to be the person in control of that relationship.
Yo, I was just saying that. I was like, yo, he should be scared because at the end of the day, yo, if he is pimping out this girl wouldn't pull out no knife on him. This man would have weapons right now. He wouldn't be living with her. Like, yo, this is super crazy out here.
While I agree that there had to be some bilateral toxicity and mutual abuse, she, in the videos that we saw thus far, seemed to be in charge of that relationship, which is at odds with a woman who's claiming, I'm a battered woman and I had no self-esteem, no control in this situation.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, what are you seeing and hearing from Courtney Clenny? Again, this is 2 days before Christian Obunselli gets a knife in his chest.
I see a woman who knows that she has to provide an alibi beforehand, similar to how after the killing, she went to Hawaii and checked herself in for PTSD and abuse, substance abuse. You know, she presumably told them that the PTSD was from domestic violence from Christian. But I think that this was all setting it up. I'm not saying that 2 days before she knew she was going to kill him, but she was trying to set herself up in general as a victim, and clearly she's not. She doesn't fit the profile of an abused woman. She's very entitled. You know, she feels that she is entitled to everything. You know, people who are influencers have this kind of strange psyche, this strange sort of way of relating to the world. They are sort of caught up in their own so-called fame or influence, and they live in that world, and then it's hard for them to sort of operate in the real world. They're kind of still, you know, expecting to be worshipped by everyone, like feeling like they are on camera still. And I think, you know, we've seen this before, and I agree that she's like Amber Heard. I was thinking of that. She's a more violent Amber Heard.
Oh, shit.
Marie, I'm looking at her, and I'm looking at the nature of the structure of the relationship. She's the one bringing in all the money. How much, if at all, do you think that impacts this whole situation in this relationship?
It impacts it a lot, and I agree with Dr. Lieberman because she was in control. She made all the money, and he was sort of like, to me, a boy toy to her. And most of the arguments they had were centered around him looking at other women. She was jealous. She's insecure, but she was the one doing, you know, all of what she was doing on OnlyFans. Let's face it, he couldn't have been doing it by himself. She was the draw to the money and to the views. So she felt like, you know what? He had no right to look at anybody else, talk to anybody else, and if he did, he would face a wrath. Most of the arguments were like, you were talking to her, you DM'd her. It was all about control. Jealousy and rage is not a defense to murdering someone. So I hope that she comes up with something better than that, because if we're going according to the videos, and videos really, sometimes they don't lie. She was the one controlling that. She's just a jealous, manipulative person, and she killed him because he was checking other women out, and that's that.
Our guests are staying with us. When we come back, we're going to take a look. How many times was Christian Obunselli attacked by Courtney Clenny?
Domestic violence? Yeah.
You say you've been together how long, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
2.5 to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know. But we shouldn't be together.
We say one or two, or just too many to...
Oh my God.
No?
Oh my God. I haven't touched my ankle. It's like wet blood.
There she is being interviewed after putting a knife in Christian Obunselli. She doesn't know that he is dead at that moment, I don't think. But you can see the question is like, how many incidents? And she's like, well, I don't know. Well, it's a lot, folks. We're going to go through a timeline of the incidents and the attacks on Christian Obunselli that we have been able to uncover. But there are obviously more, but these are some that we have been able to uncover. Let's begin July 27th, 2021, while in Las Vegas. Courtney Clenny is arrested for domestic battery while she and Obumseli, Christian, were staying at the Cosmopolitan Casino. This came after she threw a glass at Christian while he was laying on the couch at 5 in the morning. When police came, they interviewed both. Take a listen.
More the story, like I was on the couch, like she threw the glass thing on my face. Then I went back to bed. Like I was like, why'd you do that? Okay, I go to the bed. I understand that she was mad, you know. But I wasn't doing anything. I was on the couch.
Did you remember throwing the glass?
No, you don't. But that sounds like me, so.
That sounds like me. You know what sounds like her? October 9th, 2021, Courtney stabs Christian in the leg. Like in this case, this is not the only time that she has stabbed him. Stabbed him in the leg October 9th, 2021. Next day, following night, Courtney Clenny locks Christian out of the room after hitting him in the head with her phone. There's a whole bunch of text messages back and forth. Take a listen as our producers read them.
The crazy thing about all of this is that yesterday, when you stabbed me in the leg and you saw how bad it was hurting me and I couldn't walk, I couldn't do and you were telling me I wish I could have taken your pain away. I wish it was me and not you. The next morning, I still woke up happy. I still gave you a good day even though my leg was hurting because my girlfriend stabbed me. So you're telling me you can't do the same thing the next day and say, whatever happened last night, today's a new day, because that's what I do for you. I woke up happy. I took you to Vegas to get your drove right back, helped you shoot, drank with you, did blow with you, just so you're having a great day. And I'm doing all of this while my leg hurts so bad. Did I make you feel like for stabbing me? No, I just sucked it up and hope tomorrow will be better.
If you decide to get security, call. I will tell them exactly what happened.
Hey, I'm sorry. If it's okay, can I come up? I know you said 5 minutes, but I've been in the restroom, my nose is bleeding, and the back of my head hurts. Like really hurts. I don't know if it was your hand or the phone, but I'm really dizzy.
I'm putting your stuff up. You can come get it when I say you can. Go to first aid.
They have to take me somewhere. My shirt was off walking through the casino so I wouldn't get blood on it. Can you open the door, please? And you were pounding the phone on my head when I was done. It's okay, but can you let me in? I don't feel good, please. Courtney, can you open the door? I don't feel good and there's a bump on the back of my head. Can you just let me in? I'll be on the couch while you're in the bed. I don't want my nose to bleed, and going back and forth downstairs to the restroom is making me nauseous. I'm getting anxiety and you know how I get. Can you please let me in? And help me, please? We don't need to say a word. I haven't ate and running on 2 hours of sleep and drugs. Please open the door. Courtney, I don't feel good. Open the door for real. This isn't cool. I have a lump on the back of my head and I'm dizzy and anxious. And I can't keep walking up and down when my leg hurts. Come on. Courtney, can you come get me? I'm not feeling too hot and I need to lay down with this ice pack. I can't see straight. I've been sitting in the restroom for an hour. Courtney, this is up. I have a lump on my head and I'm bleeding and have anxiety. Can you answer your phone? Courtney, can you let me in? You hit me in the face with the phone, then continue to hit the back of my head with the phone. Now I have a lump. I'm bleeding, throwing up, think I got a mild concussion and have anxiety. I slept in the restroom for 2 hours and I'm just beyond words. All I hope for is a better tomorrow. Can you let me in or not? I apologized before you said you were kicking me out and you spit on me. No matter how mad and tough gets, you don't treat the one that you love that way. State fairs tomorrow. Be ready.
Well, I'm sorry, Christian. I hope you're okay. I'm sorry for hitting you in the face and the back of your head and spitting on you. Is it right? No. You just pissed me the off, but I still love you. I don't know about the fair anymore. Maybe I'll have a change of heart after some rest. The latch will be off. I'm going to bed. Don't say anything until the morning. We can talk then. I just read these texts, And I'm truly very sorry for responding like that while you were in pain. I should have let you in clearly. I didn't realize you might have a mild concussion. I should have just come back with the medicine. I love you. I'll be back soon.
Dr.
I'ma
Carol
say
Lieberman,
this.
what's going on here?
She killed him. That's first-degree murder. I think that was first-degree murder.
Well, if we didn't know who was saying what, you would think that he was the woman, that he was the victim of domestic violence. I mean, but I want to make sure it's clear. Men actually are victims of domestic violence so much more than people realize, because they don't want to report it because they're embarrassed to admit that they're taking this abuse. But just looking at those texts, he's playing the role of the victim. Those are typically, you know, typically what the victim of abuse says. So, you know, it's clear that he has been long time the victim. One wonders, it's really amazing. Just like when it is a woman who's the victim, she keeps coming back, and people always ask, well, why does she stay with him? One could say the same thing with him. You know, why does he stay with her? I don't think it's just a money thing. I mean, he was doing crypto, what do you call it? Bitcoin. And I think he was making money too. I don't know maybe she was making more, but.
Oh, she's making a lot more, trust me, a lot more. A lot more.
Okay, but I don't think it was just about the money. I think it was a sick relationship that they need. And she, by the way, is borderline, just like Amber Heard was borderline. And so what they are most afraid of is abandonment.
Marie, they're in Vegas in July. She's throwing a glass at him, and then police come. Then we go to October, stabs him in the leg. He's complaining about that, and then smacks him in the head with the phone, and then locks him out all night. What are you hearing from Christian in all of this?
He's a battered man, like Dr. Lieberman says again. People think that you have to be a woman to be battered, to have low self-esteem. He has no self-esteem, and he is suffering from battered man syndrome. She locked him out. She beat him up. He's begging to come back. And these text messages are going to come back to haunt her from an evidentiary standpoint. They're going to use it against her to show that she had to be the aggressor. She was the one abusing him. So therefore, she cannot turn around and say she was an abused person, because none of those texts say, and you punched me first, you dragged my hair around, or you scratched me, you violated me, that's why I hit you. There's not even anything there to even show that it was mutual physical abuse. Maybe he mentally tormented her, but the physical abuse, based on these texts that Court TV is revealing, she was the aggressor, she was in charge, she beat the hell out of him and treated him like he was a battered woman.
And again, we know that she is making the allegation that she is the victim, not only of the domestic abuse, but the initial statement released when she was first arrested, that she was also being trafficked, a victim of trafficking by him. I'm still trying to understand where that is coming from, but we'll see. Here's what we're going to do. We've got more of this timeline to go through, folks. This is not all of the abuse that we've been able to track down that is documented. We've got more videos like this to show you when we come back.
One of the most successful true crime TV shows ever.
This is crazy.
Now has a new home on America's original
You're high pitched. Okay, I'm not listening to me.
Court TV.
Don't touch me.
What is going on? Like, what are you gonna get this mad at me when I'm apologizing to you?
No, Christian.
Like, you're thinking I'm doing it on
Drop your drop your high pitch.
Okay, I'm not doing it on purpose.
You trust the alright. You know well the right thing to do is to tell me.
Yes, and I am so sorry.
So shut up and let me slap you.
You're not gonna slap me.
Give me my phone.
You have your phone.
I don't have it anymore. Find it and charge it.
Shut up and let me slap you. Now, we don't have the date of that particular recording, but we have more to get through as we take a look at the toxic relationship and the attacks on Christian Obumseli by Courtney Clenny. These are things that are documented. You can see it, you can hear it. We go to January of 2022. Christian Obumseli goes to the hospital because he needs stitches. Courtney stays out and then cheats on him. There's some text messages back and forth about all that. Let's take a listen as our producers read them.
Hopefully, this will give you time to think about your actions. Enjoy the hospital. Tell them your side, then I'll tell them what happened.
I'm not saying anything.
LMAO. You should.
I'm going now. I'm gonna say football incident.
And then leave me the alone. Okay? Have fun?
Baby, can you come with me? I lost a lot of blood.
Let me know how it goes. See you later.
I really, really hope you didn't cheat on me, Courtney. I really, really hope so. I'm so scared. I don't know where the you are. And you slept or you're somewhere else at 4 in the morning and you don't contact me? I was in the hospital looking forward to seeing you and you go drink and leave with someone? When your boyfriend is passed out on the bed getting stitched up because I lost too much blood?
I love you so much, Christian. I should have been at the hospital with you, and I should have slept next to you as I always have. I'm truly, genuinely sorry that my actions hurt you so deeply. That was not my intention. But it's reality, and I have to do what I can to make it right. I don't think something like that deserves a second chance, but if you do stick around, I think we can be happy and make each other happy if we just try harder. I don't think either of us wants to do life without the other person.
This is some crazy shit.
And have deep regret for putting you and us in this position.
And it continues. We go on to February of 2022. And this is the infamous elevator incident that we have seen. Clenny is seen attacking Christian in the elevator. Now, this elevator goes directly to the apartment. And in my interview with the defense attorney here is saying, listen, she was trying to get away from him here and wanted to keep him out of her apartment, and he kept following her in to the elevator to get into her apartment. That's their explanation for what you're seeing here. But obviously, a lot of people have a different take on what's taking place inside of the elevator. Also, we move further in February of 2022. They didn't take a trip to Aspen. And Courtney Clenny, again, can be seen attacking Christian in Aspen while they're on a content trip. So they're creating content for social media. Let's take a look.
I was sober for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then why am I not sober? Because of you. But you're hindering my progress.
You need to sit down.
Let go of me. Let go of me.
Come on.
Let go of me.
Okay.
Come on, boy. Let go of me. Like, I can't even, like, I'll try to hit you later. Like, you saw me.
You don't want to hit me?
Christian, he saw me, and I know he's looking. I'm fed up with you. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with how you treat me.
Courtney, you
yes, I'm not mad at you.
You let Moana say some line that affected you.
I didn't let her say anything.
I didn't say.
You did.
Hey, let's go to Moana right now. Let's pull up her.
No, I'm just gonna hear the scene.
No, she's in the group chat. Let's put her on the phone right now.
I dare you.
Yeah, you dare me? Keep saying
you
it.
do it.
Then stop saying it then.
Do it.
Then stop saying it then. Then stop saying it then. Come on.
Let me get my
Ask her. Ask her, did I touch her breast yesterday?
instigative he is?
No, you're telling me I touched her breast yesterday when I.
You did. I didn't say touch it.
You said I did.
You were leaning. Yo, you were dumb as. I actually don't want to be with you. Actually, I'm done.
Okay.
Can you send him home?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, fine.
Done. Because you're like, you're costing me money. I didn't do. He's like, I'm in this house because of you.
You let Moana say some line that.
No, because of you.
This don't sound like somebody who's sex trafficked. I'm gonna be personally honest.
Like 3 girls the whole time.
What 3 girls? What 3 girls? You?
Well, maybe
you,
I think that doesn't matter.
You.
Milan.
Milan? I was flirting with Milan.
And she said, hey, come get your mans. She's trying to come home with me.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're lying. She said, come get your mans that I was trying to hit on Milan. Come on, baby.
Okay.
That doesn't even sound right.
Christian, you're fired.
She just fired him. By the way, that's not behind closed doors because there's someone else there who is recording that with video, and she knows there's someone else there. This incredibly toxic relationship. April 1st, 2022, there's another altercation. This is the one where she's asking for that protective order. She's trying to get a restriction from the law to spin.
You see the disrespect. She actually called this grown man a boy. She slapped him in the face and said, get out of here. The lack of respect to me I mean, I don't want to use the black and white thing, but I wonder if this man was a white boyfriend, if she would have called him boy. I take that so personally, to call a grown man a boy, spit on him, order him out of the room. To me, he was so the victim.
Well, that's another one. We got one more to go.
Now he's dead and she's behind bars, accused of taking his life. She allegedly said it was an accident, but many on social media are not buying it. Now the search for the truth begins. I'll walk you through what happened. For Law and Crime News, I'm Kennedy Walker. It's a story that's left a community searching for answers. A young father shot and killed, and the woman who allegedly pulled the trigger, his girlfriend, Hannah Cobb. But questions are swirling on social media, like what really happened to Telvin Osborne that night? Why did police wait to arrest his girlfriend? And if this was not an accident, why is Hannah Cobb not facing a harsher charge? According to police, in the early hours of Sunday, February 23rd, 25-year-old Hannah Cobb shot and killed Telvin in the master bedroom of their home, a home which they shared with their 2 children.
It's just very tragic that he has lost his life in this manner.
In a news conference obtained by WJBF News, Burke County Sheriff Alfonso Williams said the shooting happened after a night of drinking and an argument that turned physical. But how did the gun come into play? Well, according to an incident report obtained by Law and Crime, Cobb allegedly told police that sometime after they returned home, she was checking her firearm, something she claimed the couple did together every night. But get this, despite the incident report clearly stating that Cobb allegedly said she was cleaning her gun when it fired, Sheriff Williams says his office never received any information to support that.
Important for us to clarify that at no point during the investigation was there any information about a person cleaning a weapon.
However, Sheriff Williams made it clear this tragedy is not being ruled an accident.
It's crucial to note that the investigation has not been classified as accidental.
But if this wasn't an accident, then why isn't Cobb charged with a harsher crime like murder? And why was she not arrested on the spot? The delay sparked outrage from the victim's family and the community. Joining us now is legal expert Joe Tamburino. Joe, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me on.
So given the details of this case, including the alleged argument and the firearm discharge, why do you think Hannah Cobb has been charged with involuntary manslaughter and not something more severe like murder?
Well, under Georgia law, involuntary manslaughter is basically culpable negligence, and that's very similar to many state laws. And what that means is that what you were doing in an extremely negligent manner, and you were actually committing an underlying crime. So in this case, what the argument is that she was operating a firearm or doing something with the firearm while she was intoxicated, and she discharged it, and obviously it killed Mr. Osborne. So that's why this crime fits for right now. Now, that doesn't mean she won't be charged with others in the future. Prosecutors, based on new evidence, can charge whatever they want as long as the evidence fits it. So right now, this is the charge, but we don't know what it will be in the future.
Yeah, and I think you touched on my next question, just trying to figure out what could the exact elements be that the prosecution may have considered to charge her with that involuntary manslaughter.
Well, the elements would be this, basically, that she was under the influence of alcohol, presumably, that she was using her firearm in a reckless manner, say that's a misdemeanor type crime, and as a result of that, she killed someone because it went off. So even though she didn't mean for the gun to be fired, since she did it in a reckless manner, a culpable negligence type of way, she could be guilty of that crime, and it's up to 10 years in prison. Now, if all of a sudden more evidence comes out, like say, more evidence comes out about an argument, something like that, could possibly the prosecutor go to a voluntary manslaughter, which is more like a heat of passion type situation? Sure, they could do that. So just because you start out with one charge does not necessarily mean that that's the only charge from now till trial.
And the incident report obtained by Law and Crime suggests that Cobb said the gun discharged accidentally while she was checking it, claiming that they did this every night. Do statements like this play a significant role in determining charges in these kind of cases?
Yes, they do.
Okay, we are about to create the brand new Game of Thrones game. Game of Thrones, King's Road.
Oh, so the main character's obviously Jon Snow, right?
Wrong. You are the main character, a mysterious figure from a new house in the north called House Tyne. And the story starts beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall? So the dead are coming, right?
The dead are just the beginning. This time, the fight is against something even more terrifying.
Will the battles only be in the north?
Not at all. We will explore every corner of Westeros.
So how does it end?
The ending? In this new Game of Thrones game, you will encounter new challenges, untold stories you've never seen before. Game of Thrones, King's Road. Download now.
Statements like that, as well as the physical evidence. I am sure there's crime scene investigation. And what they're going to do is try to see where the gun was when it was discharged. Where were her hands when it was discharged? Was the gun, say, lying on her lap when it was discharged? Or was it pointed at point blank range against Mr. Osborne? So many factors are going to go into that. They will also examine Mr. Osborne's body. Was there any type of stippling or evidence on the skin or clothing which would show that the firearm was very close to him? Or did none of that exist? And perhaps he was 20 feet away, which would inure more toward the argument that it was an accidental discharge. All of these factors are going to be highly relevant.
Now, according to reports, it does appear that Ms. Cobb was trying to administer first aid. Does that help her case?
Yes. What happens after an incident is just as important as what happened during the incident. Because if all of a sudden you accidentally, say, shoot someone or injure someone, if you run from the scene, well, that's like a consciousness of guilt. If you act in some callous way and you don't render any assistance, perhaps you don't even call 911 right away, again, that could show an indifference to the harm that was done to the victim. However, if upon discovering that you actually hurt this person and possibly killed him, and you immediately provide assistance, yes, that's relevant to what's called state of mind of the defendant or the suspect.
Now, we already mentioned about, what the incident report said that Ms. Cobb allegedly said about her allegedly trying to clean her gun, something that the couple allegedly did every single night together. But the sheriff held a news conference this week mentioning that there was no information suggesting Cobb was cleaning the weapon, despite, again, that incident report. How significant is that discrepancy?
Very significant on a couple of respects. Number one is you have to be careful when you're a law enforcement agency that before you go out in front of the press, before you start taking questions, you got to get your story right. You got to make sure that you have the reports, you have anything surrounding the incident, as much information as you can, and then you could go out and answer some questions. So you got to make sure that happens. Number two is you have to question, well, where was this incident report? if you have a representative from the law enforcement agency saying, here's what I know about the case, but he doesn't know about the incident report, where was it? It questions who generated that report, where did it go, why wasn't it given to the higher ups in the agency, and so on.
Now, in cases like this, where there's a claim of an accidental shooting, how difficult is it to prove intent in a court of law?
Well, that's going to come back to a few things. Number one, first of all, is the physical evidence, like what we discussed. How exactly was Mr. Osborne shot? Where was he? Was he proximate to where the gun was? Is there any type of physical evidence like stippling, anything on him like that? Where was the gun when Ms. Cobb had it? Was it actually held in her hand? Was it on her lap? Was it on a table? Were there other instruments around the gun, such as cleaning instruments? Were they being deployed at the time of the shooting? All of the physical evidence. Then you go to the next level. The next level is, what were the statements? What were her statements? What was said on 911? There's going to be a lot of information surrounding that. And then you get to the next level after that, which is the surrounding circumstances. In many situations like this, you're going to have search warrants being executed on all sorts of accounts, meaning cell phone, devices, social media, emails, the history of what a person Googled, all of these things. You're going to try to get as much information about this couple's history. Were they always arguing? Was there any type of domestic abuse in the past? Were there any restraining orders? What did this couple say individually to their friends or to their family? What did they say to each other? What were the texts between each other? So that's how you go through physical evidence, the statements, and all of the surrounding circumstances.
And clearly more evidence can come out, as this story unfolds. But in that same news conference this week, the sheriff did mention that there seemed to be no history or no prior domestic violence in their relationship. How does the lack of prior domestic violence reports between the couple impact how the case is being viewed legally?
Well, it will certainly impact the charges, because if there's some long history of domestic violence, like say Ms. Cobb, and we're just saying a hypothetical, say she was arrested in the past, or there were restraining orders against her for committing domestic violence on Mr. Osborne, clearly relevant in a situation like that. But if there were no reports of domestic violence, no restraining orders, nothing of the sort, well, then obviously it would help Ms. Cobb, the defendant, because it would show that there was no animosity between the two. She held no grudges against him, and if there was an argument, perhaps it was just a typical argument that couples have.
And with the delay in Cobb's arrest and the family's public outrage, how does public perception affect the legal process?
Well, in today's world, it affects it a lot, and there are two reasons for that. One is social media. There's no doubt about that. People go on their social media and start saying all sorts of things without knowing the full story. And the second is what's going to happen in court, because Georgia has cameras in the courtroom. So that means that, what the public reads about, what social media says about it, will be impacted by what we see in the courtroom. So yes, and it's unfortunate in many situations, but, the public's perception of the case does matter.
And does the fact that the couple had 2 children together, does that matter at all?
Yes, anything surrounding their familial life, anything surrounding what they did as a family, how they interacted, the ties that they had to each other in the community. And clearly when you have children, your ties as a married couple or a cohabitating couple are stronger because you have living human beings that you have brought into this world. So all of that is relevant in this type of a situation.
And lastly, do you think there's a chance that the charge could be upgraded to anything later on, whether that be murder, whether that be voluntary? Do you think that's possible? And if so, what would need to be proven for that to happen?
It is always possible. In fact, so many times before trial on cases involving a homicide. And remember, a homicide itself doesn't necessarily mean a crime was committed. I mean, for instance, you can have a homicide where it's pure accident. There are no criminal charges at all. A homicide just means a human being caused the death of another human being. But depending upon what comes out of any case involving the death of a human being, sure, you might have charges that happen in the future, a greater manslaughter charge, perhaps an intentional murder charge, things along those lines. So it's always possible, and in many cases it happens.
Great. Well, this is definitely something that we will be following closely. Thank you so much, Joe, for coming on today.
Thank you.
This story has made its rounds on social media and the community, and many people are focusing and commenting on the racial dynamics of the couple and the alleged crime. The delay in the arrest has already sparked significant outrage, but the racial elements of the case can raise broader questions about how racial tensions can influence both public perception and the legal process. Joining me to talk more about this is civil rights and criminal defense attorney Tyler Bailey. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me today.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. Do I want to do another one? Nah, I'm gonna leave it with those three right there. I was gonna do the other one from Dallas, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna land right here. I think because it's so crazy, because we watched two racial ones, then we just watched one guy who's just a police officer, probably working an everyday job. His wife killed him. His girlfriend killed him. You know, I think as a man, women have a lot of they have a lot of what's the word? They have a lot of chances of fucking up. Especially as a white woman. And the reason why I believe white women have $1 million worth of whiteness, where they could go to court, where they can just go somewhere and just start crying and say he did that. That Negro did it right over there. That big old booger bear nigga over there, he did that shit. We seen Jonathan Major got through some shit. He almost went to jail for a whole year. For running, fleeing. He's not even a foreigner. He fled this white woman, this white Neanderthal, and she wouldn't let him go. She broke into his house and stuff and fell on the floor and started crying. He called the police. She didn't call the police, he did. And they locked him up. We just seen John O'Keefe, a Dedham police officer, get run over by his girlfriend. Well, we didn't see her get run over, but we see a whole bunch of evidence saying that she did it, and her first case was dismissed. Motherfucking dismiss. They're in courts right now finding other new evidence and stuff. She talking about it was a corrupt cops that did it. You know how crazy that sounds? That shit is super nuts. Now we just watched this woman who said she was just cleaning her fucking gun and the gun went off. And she said she does that shit every night. All of a sudden, after she was arguing, the gun goes off. I'm going to say this too. I think white women are more dangerous now than ever. And the reason why, because they could get mad and do some shit and say, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's very dangerous. And I'm gonna say it off the rip. It's so dangerous. That shit is so dangerous where somebody can get killed out here. That's why when we do this podcast, we talk for like an hour and some change. We talk for an hour and some change before we do anything else. You know? And I think that's super dope because at the end of the day, sometimes we just need a conversation to start this podcast. We went from talking about Nike Techs to why people date interracially to our topic questions. I think all three of these women have only thing that these three women have in common. One, that they're white. Second of all, they played the system. Third of all, they had evidence that they were arguing with these motherfuckers before they killed them. Where's the whole coincidence of them shooting and stabbing and running over a motherfucker? 3 different type of incidents. One person got ran over by their boyfriend. The other one got stabbed multiple times. And the third one shot her boyfriend accidentally. I don't believe that bullshit. I think it's a crock of shit if you ask me. I always thought shit like that was a crock of shit. These motherfucking women killed their boyfriends. They made it seem like it was a mistake. And one said it was self-defense. After they had multiple evidence of her beating up on this motherfucker. This big old spear chucking motherfucker. Yeah, these motherfuckers love snow bunnies. You could tell that they love snow bunnies. But it was worth their life. One guy said he will die for his snow bunny. And that bitch shot him in the face. That was the motherfucker with the cowboy hat. Talk about he died for his girl, his woman. He used to talk shit about black women. Now that white woman killed him. He got his little self that special snow bunny that he wanted. Do I feel bad? No, I don't feel bad for her. Are all white women like this? No. But the thing about it, we got to ask these men now, do you want to find out? All these times y'all was talking about black women, we found out your white women are even more crazier. They out here killing people. That's something to think about. All y'all people used to dog black women. Even some of y'all black men. Y'all always had some shit to say about black women. They ghetto, they ratchet. At least she didn't end up fucking dead. At least she didn't get ran over by no car or stabbed or shot. Something happened. But I'm going to end the show right here. You know, we did 3.5 hours. 3:20. I want to thank everybody. I'm going to start from the top. From YouTubian. To Kwame. To Rando. To DJ X1. To Del Monte Green Beans. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all watching the show and stuff. I'm going to leave one message. Y'all got to stop disrespecting black women, man. Look at these two black men that are dead. They dogged black women. They dogged black women. I'm in an interracial relationship. I will never say anything bad about no black woman. If y'all motherfuckers feel good dating white women, that's good. By all means, do it. But don't let it be because you dislike black women. Don't ever let it be because of that. But y'all take care, everyone. I'll see you probably tomorrow.